So last session, you guys killed a dragon. Good job. What do you want to do?
I was no dragon.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It was a thing. Vaguely dragon-shaped. Sort of in the uncanny valley of dragonness, right? But, yeah, you guys got a good start on your trek out. You touched base with Aunt Esther. You dropped off Kodum, who was promptly consumed, and you got a heading on this creature, the chimera that allegedly killed Barnaby's father. So allegedly, yeah. You can't prove anything.
Guilty yet.
You can't prove anything.
Take him to court.
Take it to the fake court.
There you go.
Yeah. So the chimera that killed Barney's father. So you guys took off via Giant Eagle, got a decent head start on your day, and flew out into the distant southern hills bordering the Hinola Wood region. Camped out for the night, and late in the night, one of you caught, wind of a great and terrible creature streaking out into the night, and witnessed it landing later that morning. So you guys decided, hey, let's investigate that. Maybe it's the chimera. And upon further investigation, determined, no, this was definitely not the chimera. This thing shot 2 beams of fire from its eyes. It's covered in green scales, a long, slender body like a serpent. Very, very dragon-like. And you guys promptly kicked its ass. So, good job. Okay, we're going to have to find new music because that commercial is coming constantly. Just doesn't stop.
Yeah, there's an easy solution to that.
It only takes a couple hours of work.
It really doesn't. You just load it into a website and it automatically downloads.
Yeah, well then I'll look into it. But yeah, you guys wrecked this, the Jabberwock, as some of you rightly guessed, and commenced to harvesting its scales and claws and teeth and eyes. And you have, you got dinner if you want it too. There's a pile of half-eaten dead cow.
I don't know if I got dinner.
Yeah. So we're picking up in the wake of this battle. You guys have, I believe you finished a short rest, recuperated, and are ready to seize the rest of the day.
It's been a couple hours, right? You said? Because we were skinning the thing.
Yeah, a couple hours.
And harvesting heads, apparently.
Yes. Okay. And how far are we from where we started the day?
You guys are, I believe it's about an hour from the edge of the tree line.
Okay.
Because you guys camped in sort of an open grassy valley, and we're about a quarter mile from the tree line at the campsite. And then from there you walked about half an hour up to the crash site, and then another half hour towards the creature.
Okay.
So that's about, 3 hours since you woke up this morning? It's still before noon. Sun is low in the sky.
I suppose in this, I guess once we're done with the short rest, I would just look around this site and see if there's any signs that there are multiple of these things.
Okay. I'll say go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay.
With assistance, I'll help.
Okay.
Well, thank you. That is a 19 total.
19 total. Okay. With a 19, inspecting this clearing where this creature had sort of stopped to drop its lunch and begin eating.
Heavy lunch.
Yeah, there's not a lot of indication that you can see that there is any more than the one creature. There's, as far as you can tell, really the only one set of footprints, and really, the only markings it's sort of left in the area is sort of the claw marks it's left in the trees leading up to this clearing. This does not look to be like a nesting site or a lair in any sense of the word. It really does look like just kind of the first open spot this thing found to stop scampering and start eating.
Did we see it come out of here last night, though?
You did see it kind of like burst out of the dark forested hills somewhere. Somewhere beyond the horizon. But where exactly, you couldn't say. There's not really any sign that this was where it took off from, necessarily.
Gotcha.
You know for sure where it landed, obviously.
Well, I think we've done all we can do with this thing. I guess we could spend the rest of the day trying to find the Chimera's lair.
Okay. Sorry, what?
What was that?
You said sorry, what? His mouth was full.
Oh, I see.
Was he eating the cow?
Yeah.
Ugh, Burberry.
Burberry, please stop.
Don't. That's gotta be. How does it look fresh at all? Or are these like days old cows?
No, they look pretty fresh.
Okay.
No, I mean, it would be a fresh one.
All right. Well.
These look like they were probably killed last night.
I'm not gonna join you, but I guess you'll be okay probably.
It's like 200 pounds of steak tartare. What's not to love?
Exactly.
I was gonna ask Barnaby how he wants to approach things, but he's muted. So we'll assume that he's okay with whatever we decide.
That sounds
I just realized I've been muted this whole gosh darn time. I said that does sound like the most prudent use of our time. That is what I said originally.
Oh.
And I'm sticking by that.
All right. I prefer not to fight it today if possible, because I just use a lot of magic, but if we have to, I can get by.
Samesies.
But yeah, let's head... Is it east to get into the Feywild Forest?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you're sort of surrounded by forest right now, so, I mean...
Well, there's
really
some
kinda
level of threshold at some point where we...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
So, heading into the woods. Can I get a marching order from the party? How do you guys want to kind of arrange
We
yourselves?
don't need a marching order. We're not, like... Fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll
It's
just
on
put
the
you wherever I
middle.
want to put you.
Dibs
No big
on
deal.
the middle.
Thank you, Burberry. Thank you for playing ball. I will kill you last.
I will hang out in the middle.
Okay. So heading into the forest then, leaving the site of this encounter, you very quickly find yourselves back in this sort of like thick, dark pine forest. Not a lot of underbrush around here. The ground is, largely covered in dried and dead pine needles, cones, here and there. The mossy rocks of glaciation in ages past. But it's quiet, and the air's largely pretty still. Tenzin. Jesus.
It was a cat.
As soon as I start talking, he's just got to start up. And I'd say it does not take very long at all for you to begin seeing signs that you are sort of drawing close to that threshold, that border realm. You start seeing sort of firefly-like dancing lights in the distance, kind of moving in these ribbons through the air, weaving between the trees. You begin seeing these sort of strange, ancient standing stones, not unlike the ones you noted after crossing the bridge on Feral.
Nothing to worry about, I'm sure.
Not a bit. And I will say, as the hour passes on and the day progresses, it does start to warm up, ever so slightly. But it also begins to feel almost unseasonably warm, to the point that the coats are beginning to feel a little bit too insulating for the shift in climate here. And all the while you're sort of following Rancid as he kind of meanders through the trees, face close to the ground, just taking these big, deep breaths, tracking your quarry. Oh my god. I'm just gonna forget music. I'm over it. As the hours progress, I think you begin to see more and more of these lights, more of these stones, and the light sort of filtering down from overhead through the trees starts to take on a rich, almost effervescent sort of quality to it. This shimmering opalescence that kind of bleeds through the pine trees overhead. You're definitely in the right area, if what Esther told you is to be believed. I think at this point it will behoove me to ask, is there any particular precaution that you guys want to take at this point, or any action that you want to do as you find yourselves moving deeper and closer towards the Feywild?
I remember what my name is. And not to forget it.
That was an issue.
Barnaby.
What? My name's Barnaby.
Never mind.
I guess not this time.
I would probably tell Rance. I don't know if you can understand this, but I'm just gonna talk at him. Okay. Be careful getting close to this thing, okay? I don't know how close you were instructed to bring us, but I'll be honest, you kind of dropped the ball with the dragon. So just, be careful and don't get too close. I don't know what that sounds.
I think you hurt his feelings.
He kind of stamps the ground a couple times, like both legs in the air, just boom, boom. Just kind of snaps at you.
Hey, I'm not the one who snapped that fruit.
It's okay. I know you were doing your best.
he does like a tight circle, just clearly agitated, and kind of runs out ahead a good 20 feet, tail high in the air before he slows down, kind of just like glances over his shoulder at you with a glare and continues tracking as per instruction. Clearly offended. If that is everything that we want to do from here out, I think carrying onwards, you begin to see over the coming hours, the landscape begins to sort of shift underfoot. Where you were previously sort of walking over relatively smooth but steady incline, the ground is beginning to grow rocky, undulating in these sort of sharp peaks and valleys, 20 feet high, 30 feet high, at a time. And as the terrain finds itself, growing more intricate, shall we say, Rancid begins taking these more meandering paths through these gullies, head still to the ground, but continuing to progress ever eastward. The foliage around you begins to give way to strange-looking trees, where before you had the standard sort of matchstick pines, rising up high overhead, bare branches for a good 100 feet. You're now seeing these odd trees, trunks like oaks, but leaves akin to a pine or a fir. These sharp, thick, deep blue needles that sort of like fan out overhead in these wide sort of carpets of foliage overhead. You're beginning to see undergrowth start to sort of choke the forest floor, these twisting vines and creepers, bright, colorful mushrooms sort of circling at the base of many trees. And for the first time in a long time, first time since you've crossed the Feywild into the Hinold Wood, the sound of birds, animals in the distance, chirping, singing, calling out, begins to fill the air at a pretty steady pace.
That's weird.
I think, Barnaby, this definitely starts to feel very, very, very familiar. And as you're walking, Barnaby, you can see kind of flitting in between these, ribbons of dancing lights. You can see these larger globules of light sort of slowly sort of moseying their way between the trees. There's, a couple off to your left, maybe three kind of dancing off to the right, sort of all roughly moving in the same direction, sort of like bobbing and weaving in a slow sort of unctuous dance. Not an unfamiliar sight from your days wandering 5 years ago, I guess it would be. I think as you do start to walk, continuing on through these gullies, you see one of these orbs start to kind of stop and then almost lilt a little in the air. About 60 feet out, and it begins to sort of like drift towards you, sort of a lazy kind of to and fro kind of swinging motion. As it does, you hear this sort of gentle chime, like a small bell, as it kind of bobs in the air. Rancid kind of gives it a look and doesn't pay it much more mind. But Barnaby, you see this little light, probably about the size of a fist, sort of float up to you and start to kind of like circle your head, almost like it's getting a look at you.
Look.
It sort of trembles a little, and you hear that bell chime as it does, and it swings like a good 15 feet out in a singular motion, just kind of out away from the party, out towards the forest, and then stops, almost as if to turn back to you.
Is it one? Is that kind of what I'm getting?
We've encountered
It
these
feels
before,
almost like a beckon.
haven't we?
Oh, is that Noel?
So we've encountered these before, haven't we?
Are they the thingies, the will of the wits?
Will of wisps or something.
I'm going with will of the what. We don't know whose will it is, or what will it is.
I'm thinking back to Daggermore.
Mm-hmm. Where you sick them all on the prison guards?
Yeah, presumably these are bad news given the amount of screaming we heard coming from the woods.
I mean, you could make a history check with advantage, but I mean, it definitely looks very, very similar to the will-o-wisps you saw in Daggermore, for sure.
I don't think it's a stretch. I don't think we should follow Barnaby.
I got a 5.
I don't think we should follow Barnaby. These guys seem like...
It's a friendly sounding bell.
Nice little ding-a-ling.
I know. What?
Can we quote
that?
Can we quote you on that?
Oh, so
Well,
that's
it's a
what you like,
bell. Bell
Barnaby?
makes a ding-a-ling noise.
You like dingalings?
I like bells.
Dingalings, got it.
Oh, for heaven's sake, it took me a few moments.
Noel laughed first.
I
Can't say anything around all y'all.
You're just
Hey.
realizing this now?
You called it the dingaling, okay?
it's true.
That's on you, buddy.
Well, what do you say when a bell, makes a noise, huh?
It
It
rings.
chimes. Chimes, rings. Not dingaling.
Well, y'all clearly have no imagination.
Oh, we have an imagination.
It's just not the one that you like.
Just not a good one.
It's just one that fell into the gutter years back.
Yeah.
Well, terminology aside, probably shouldn't follow it. I don't know if it's gonna get mad if we don't, but I don't really have a good way to send it away now.
We could always go the other way and just say, follow all the things, and just see what happens.
Is Rancid pointing us in a different direction than the dingling?
Yeah, Rancid glanced at it as it flew up, and then just kind of turned back to the ground with a huff and kept walking the direction he was going.
I say we take a note from Rancid.
Ignore it.
Yeah.
You gotta huff first.
All right, Bell.
You gotta huff and then ignore.
Yes.
So, as you say sorry to the bell and kind of turn away to begin following the party, it's going to swing back towards you one last time and just kind of ring right next to your ear, just ding 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 ding.
Fire. I'm gonna shoot it.
I'm going to shoot it.
It startled me.
Jesus. Okay.
I love how your startled reaction is to shoot your weapon.
Kill it.
Happy birthday!
Just remind me never to jump scare Barnaby.
Never do a surprise birthday
I mean,
party
you
for
you
Barnaby.
probably should know that already just from Lauren's several instances of getting shot.
Barnaby spokes easy, all right.
Well, you rolled a hit, right?
1-on-1,
Yeah, it'll hit.
9 damage.
9?
Yep.
Okay. So this gunshot echoes through the forest, and you see this kind of this bolt of light kind of blowing off the side of this little orb, and it kind of sparkles and dissipates, and then kind of a shower of kind of fireworks sparks. And you hear the chime kind of go off with sort of a renewed urgency. This ding, 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 ding. And Barnaby, you are... That's probably not going to hit. You are going to feel like this sort of electrical arc sort of bounce off of this little orb and kind of dance across the surface of your armor. And the little creature just kind of you hear a new sound kind of come out of it, this sound, this raspberry, and it begins to sort of just, kind of bolt away out into the forest.
Look, I just don't like being startled.
It blew a raspberry at you.
And kind of looking around, I think you would see that there was a handful of other orbs in your vicinity that kind of sort of stopped to watch this interaction. They all very quickly dissipate, just kind of like disperse out into the forest around you, leaving you to your wanderings. So much for that. Carrying on for another hour or so, I think you begin to find the ground sort of renewing its efforts to impede you, growing more jagged, more violent underfoot. And you're seeing here and there now, amidst the trees, these sort of large sheets of rock kind of protruding up out of the ground, almost like kind of upturned earth, as if something massive had come through here, in ages past. And as a result, you find the canopy overhead beginning to thin. You're starting to get a clearer picture of the sky overhead, and it's kind of the clearest you've ever really had in this sort of border space. Through the trees back on Feral, you could kind of get a sense that there was sort of a kaleidoscopic sort of shifting quality to the color of the sky overhead, a sort of constant sense of twilight. But now, as the canopy parts to really allow full patches of sky to be seen, you see that sort of shifting color again, almost like these brilliantly, vividly colored clouds, very quickly kind of passing and billowing overhead. But off to the west, in the direction you come from, you can see that the color does not reach all the way to that far horizon. There is sort of a steady calming of this wild motion and color until you reach the far western horizon. You can see that there's sort of this steady, clean, material blue, not unlike the sky you left behind just a few hours before.
Do we have any sense of how long we've been walking?
2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
I think as you do get this kind of clearer view of your surroundings as the trees start to thin out, Rancid from up ahead will kind of turn and kind of bark to you all. Somewhat avoiding Noel's gaze. But he kind of like settles to the other side of the group and kind of like gives another low wolf and sort of takes a pointing position kind of up the slope. And you can kind of see up ahead of you through the break in the canopy that there is the steady rise that you've been climbing, continues for at least a few more miles. But you can see up ahead this sort of incredibly craggy, rocky spire kind of rising up, this elaborate peak, far more jagged and impressive than any of the mountains that you had seen earlier this day when you woke up this morning. And Lauren and Noelle, I think with your passive perceptions, it's not too hard for you to kind of see what he's pointing at. That about halfway up that slope, past the tree line, you can see that there is sort of a leveling that kind of happens before the mountain kind of shoots almost straight up into its final kind of ascent to its peak. There looks to be sort of this cleared space a few miles away, sort of almost like a terrace halfway up the mountain. And you okay? It looks like Rancid is sort of pointing up that feature.
Up.
You mean
You
I have to
want me to fly up
climb?
there?
I mean, it's still a few miles away, but he is indicating clearly that that is the direction you're heading.
Do we have any estimation of like just how long of a climb that would be?
I mean, looking at the slope, it looks like you could probably continue kind of this hike that you've been on for a few more miles before you would then reach that terrace.
Okay. This feels like the decision point where we have to decide if we want to keep moving forward or catch our breath for the rest of the day before
Wouldn't
engaging.
mind taking a break before engaging.
If we do take a break, are we going to lose it?
I don't know. I don't imagine so. We're being pointed toward a lair, right, Rancid?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll take that as a yes.
Ooh.
So it's not a
Can you
yes.
just nod or?
He starts chewing his foot.
Hey, Rancid, is that his lair? Would I be able to speak with this animal?
Hey, Artificer, can you make some buttons that say yes and no when you push them?
I was just thinking I made bark. Could I? He's a dog. Can he talk dog to this dog?
Can he talk, dog?
Can you understand bark?
I mean, yeah.
It doesn't solve anything if you can't.
I don't see why I wouldn't be able to.
You want to have Bark try talking to Rancid?
Why not?
So you have your little wooden dog kind of like trot up to this big loping greyhound thing, and he gives his little wooden yip, yip, yip. And Rancid just kind of cocks his head at it.
I think the answer is a hot maybe. And by hot maybe, I think no.
What makes you think that?
They're two different species is the problem. It's like, different kind of accents.
Right.
His accent is too thick, he can't understand it.
Yeah. Look, I built Bark to have my kind of accent, so he can't speak this one.
Okay, well, the thing is that Rancid can clearly understand Noelle and got mad at Noelle. So I feel
He's
like
been huffy.
I'll just be like, can you nod your head up and down?
He starts following you.
Okay, good. Now do that if we're going to the lair.
I think dogs
Has he
do
Okay.
that.
shake your head this way if we're not going to the lair. Yes or no to the lair?
I think the issue is dogs reply tonally. He was replying.
All right, that's it. I'm
badly
using
to,
universal speech. He can understand me. I still can't understand him, but I give him instructions, he'll understand.
Okay, yeah.
Now, Rancid. You can understand me now.
But he's mad at you.
I know you're mad at me, but we're trying to work together here, okay? Are we heading towards the monster itself or the monster's lair? You can stamp once for the first option and twice for the second.
He like takes another couple sniffs at the ground, kind of reacquainting himself with the trail. Kind of looks back up at the terrace, kind of turns back to you, and kind of just cocks his head.
You definitely can understand me.
I think he means it's neither of those things.
Okay, so stamp 3 times if it's something else entirely.
He cocks his head again. Like to the other side. Just kind of like goes back and forth.
Alright, insight check this fucking dog. She just being an asshole.
By the sounds of it, it sounds like we have a dog that is not of the
16.
intelligent sort.
16. As huffy as he's been with you, you get the sense that he does definitely understand what you're saying. You know, you're making this concerted effort to communicate with him. I say with the 16, you get the impression he doesn't know for sure.
Okay.
He has the sense, but he does not necessarily know what he's going to find at the other end of it.
Okay. All right. Here's a question. Does this again? Let's do once for yes, twice for no. Does the scent go much further than the top of this mountain?
He'll stamp twice.
No. Okay. Then yeah, I think this sounds like the. Thank you, Rancid. I think this sounds like the spot to, well, the time to find a spot to take a break. We've been walking for, I don't know, like half a day now, right?
Yeah, it's been probably about 5-ish hours.
Okay, so there'll be a bit of downtime.
Or not even 5 hours of walking. It's been 3 hours since you left the campsite. You spent 2 hours, or the battle site, and you spent 2 hours there doing a short rest and harvesting,
Yeah.
and then an hour getting there from camp.
So
It's been about 5 to 6 hours awake, we'll say.
That's a productive day. Let's take a look around and see if we can find a good spot to hunker down that seems out of the way. Not going to be directly in the eye line of this thing if it, leaves
Okay.
this cave.
You can do that.
All right.
Damn.
Man, well, just getting
Lord,
sass
Lord.
from everywhere today.
Lauren will, as she's saying that, she's going to start walking away to go look around for a good spot.
Go ahead and give me a survival check then.
$21.
21. Okay. So the landscape right now is it's pretty diverse in terms of like what is really available, and honestly, you kind of got your pick of campsites. There's definitely enough spots nearby that have sort of an elevated position, that you could probably kind of camp out with, a good vantage on the surrounding woodlands. Alternatively, you could find yourself, a nice, secluded little dell somewhere and sort of camp out somewhere out of sight. It's really, honestly, at your call, what you want to deal with. It's a lot of options to pick from here. There's trees big enough, honestly, if you want to climb up a tree and try and situate yourselves up there.
Well, I figured we were probably gonna use the little hut.
Yeah, that would be a little weird. How would that work? Would it make an orb?
That is weird. Yeah, I have no idea.
I have to test that. I'm not the survival expert, so I should probably defer to someone else who might know
I
more
think we
about
should
what-
just go somewhere where it's heavily forested, where like it'd be hard to see us through the tree line. If you were to fly.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
So just somewhere concealed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. And with a 21, you can find yourself a spot that's going to be like pretty out of the way looking. Backtracking a little bit away from the sort of clearing of the trees where they're starting to thin out. Kind of getting back into the thick of the forest, you find yourself a nice, relatively open little nook under one of these large sort of protruding sheets of rock. And you've got kind of a pretty narrow crevasse that kind of leads in and out of this campsite to like kind of your left and right. You can kind of see down both ways pretty clearly, and the only other way in here would be kind of down from the kind of upshot sheet of rock in front of you. Nice and kind of hemmed in, out of the way. Hopefully, won't be disturbed.
Okay. I guess we just kill a few hours until... I could just ritual cast the dome and then re-up it before bed, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can keep the dome up as much as you want, as long as you're awake to cast it.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do that first, and then we'll hang out for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have anything that they want to do between now and bedtime?
I'm going to see if I can give Bark a universal dog translator, see if he can figure out the other accents.
Start work on that.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the first component you start working on? How do you start working on it?
Well, I get different kinds of bark.
Makes sense.
Oh yeah, something more bookkeeping, but how many cool scales, claws, things did we get off of the green dragon?
I'd say this thing had a decent chunk of
I think Barnaby wanted eyes. Me and John were going after claws and scales.
mhm.
I think Burberry was grabbing something. I don't remember.
I was grabbing scales.
I'm the one that got eyes.
Oh, you're the one with eyes, sorry.
So it looks like this creature has 4 claws to a foot. So it's like 16 claws. The teeth, I'm going to say, are a myriad. They're very like thin, like 4 to 5 inches long, kind of like dagger blades, like a stiletto dagger, and just very kind of irregular in their sort of arrangement around the mouth. Like there's just tons of them. So I'd say probably 60 teeth in the skull. And honestly, it's just kind of a question of how much scale you want to take off of this thing. Did you want to scale the entire monster, or did you want to?
Well, the scales are like dinner plate size, right?
The biggest ones were. As you got down sort of the off like the back and shoulders onto the limbs, they started to shrink to like size of a hand, to like the size of like a fist, to maybe like 2 or 3 inches across. The biggest ones were very, very large.
Cool. I'll say that I got 6 claws and 8 scales. You can call that good.
Fair enough.
Beyond that, though, I don't think there's anything else what needed doing for me.
All right. So, if there's no pressing business, then eventually it is going to draw close to bedtime. The sky overhead is not necessarily significantly darker, but the colors do shift. They are sort of in this like beautiful swirling kind of gold and red and orange twilight for most of the day. And as time wears on, you see those colors start to dim into sort of these like vivid purples and blues, kind of shot through with greens. There's still pretty decent dim light kind of shed across the landscape here. There's not really like a strong, overbearing darkness. So you got a pretty good view. And as I said, you are pretty well, walled in your little campsite. So hopefully nothing happens. Who wants to take first watch?
I'll do it.
All right. I'll say perception check.
It's a good roll. 23.
23. With a 23, you sort of keep your ears peeled and just kind of like occasionally shoot a glance down either crevasse to your left and right of this campsite, just to see if anything's passing by. And, periodically you'll see those sort of distant dancing lights weaving through the trees. But nothing ever draws close to your campsite over this 2-hour period, and your watch passes without incident.
Okay. Wake up Barnaby this time.
Barnaby, if I can get a perception check for you, sir.
I want to be. That is a 10. 8 plus 2.
10.
Yep. 8 plus 2.
Okay. So, Barnaby, as you are sort of keeping your watch, you hear a ding not too far away overhead. You glance up towards the source of the sound, and you don't see anything. About 10 minutes later, you hear another little ding ding, kind of off towards one end of the crevasse. But you look down, and you don't see anything off in that direction either. For the next half hour, you are plagued by periodic chiming of tiny, clear bells. But every time you look towards the source, certain that it shouldn't be more than 30 feet away, you don't see anything nearby.
Look, I'm sorry, dinglings. You startled me. I shoot when I get startled, all right?
And at this point, Barnaby, I need you to make you don't make anything. I just need to roll. Okay. Does a
Oh no.
16 does not hit you, correct?
No.
Okay. Does a 21?
Yep.
Okay. So you are going to take 12 lightning damage as you feel this arc of electricity kind of like shoot into your body from behind you. And whipping around, you can see floating in the air inside the dome, there is a trio of those small gleaming lights. And they seem very rattled to have you turn around and see them still standing upright. In this moment, face to face with these creatures, what are you doing?
I say, look, it's going to take more than that. Granted, that did hurt that hurt, but I thought we'd just call bygones be bygones, because that take out y'all.
Okay. You're going to take another 9 lightning damage as one of them shoots out and zaps you. The two beside it, however, seeing that this might be a no-go, they suddenly kind of contract into themselves and like vanish from sight.
Now, say your friends knew better. Now, we can either keep up this song and dance, or we can have a nice farewell. How about that?
You watch the third one contract and disappear.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh no. That was a lot of dice.
2 of them hit. So 2 bolts of lightning suddenly arc through you as you turn away from thinking we finished this interaction. It's going to be 6 and 9 lightning damage, so 15 total.
All right, you try that one more time, and I'm getting Alberta.
And again, you whip around. There's 3 of them hanging in the air there, and they vanish from sight again.
I get out my gun and just sit it on my lap. That's your last warning. I can and will use her.
Can y'all knock it off? Oh my god.
We're just having a polite southern dispute, all right?
Is it? Okay. Shush. Lauren turns over.
We can see a little bit of smoke coming out of Barnaby's visor.
It's a little bit of
Smells
jar.
like burnt hair.
Well, with the gun in your lap, the creatures do not reappear. And the remainder of your watch will pass without incident. So you want to wake up for next shift?
Let's do John.
Okay. John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So, for your watch shift, go ahead and give me a perception check as Barnaby rolls over and returns to sleep.
Hang on, I forgot what my perception was. Sorry, it's loading. That would be a 19.
19? Okay.
Yep.
So, John, as your rest progresses, keeping your eyes open, keeping watch, it's quiet. And outside of the brief disturbance you may or may not have overheard during the previous watch shift, it's pretty calm and quiet now. Until about half an hour into your shift, when you hear the telltale arc of electrical energy. And that's going to be a hit. That's going to be a miss again. That's a hit.
How polite of them to always go against the person who's asleep.
No. John, you see 3 glowing orbs of light appear over Barnaby's body and just begin just drilling him with little arcs of lightning. The first one, because Barnaby will be unconscious when it happens, will be a crit. So Barnaby, you're going to take another 7 and 11 lightning damage. So it's going to be 18 from that hit.
18 will hit.
No, that's 18 damage.
Why did we not set up the hut?
We did.
We did. They're in the hut.
They're getting inside the hut?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, that does it.
And then the second one that hits you, since you are awake, will not crit. That's just going to be 10 lightning damage.
Okay. That does it.
Is it-
Fire and Bertha.
Is it possible for me to try to grab one of these things?
Yeah, you can try.
I would like to try to grapple one of these things.
I'll say go ahead and give me an athletics check.
$23.
Okay. That is better than a 22. So you will kind of reach out and kind of grasp at this thing. And it darts away. And for a moment, your hand kind of closes around it, and you feel, this kind of pleasantly warm, tingling sensation inside of your hand. However, because these creatures are ephemeral, they are immune to being grappled, and you just watch as it just kind of like phases up through the back of your hands. Barnaby, you're shooting one of them?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll to hit.
a 25.
25.
Yes.
That's going to hit.
And everyone's
That
awake.
is
Yeah. This thunderous crash of gunfire and a cloud
11.
of gunpowder smoke kind of starts to fill the dome.
11 damage for the first hit.
Okay. It is still intact. If you want to make your second attack.
Another one. That is a 28 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is going to be 14 damage.
And with that, you see one of the orbs just kind of burst in a shower of sparks that just kind of like fall harmlessly to the ground, gently smoking. With that, I think the two lights left will both again vanish from sight.
Did I not warn you? You try that again and I'm going to exterminate y'all.
Barnaby, are you okay? You're smoking.
You just see Barnaby lift up the visor and it's just black soot. And just white eyes staring at you. I felt better.
Okay.
Would you like me to fix you?
Comes a very groggy berry.
I would not say no.
Okay, I'll give him a second level peely do. Or you know what? Since I'm gonna get it at the end of this long rest anyway, you can have a level spell.
Touche.
So 3, 8.
Could Noelle healing words Barnaby in here or no?
There's no reason you couldn't.
Okay. I knew the dome affected spellcasting. I wasn't sure.
I think it's just
Casting out of the dome.
Oh, okay, sure.
15 points of heals for you.
All my
Thank
hard
you.
work.
I definitely feel a little better than that, a little less cinched.
And you still smell singed.
I'll press digitation.
Oh, that'll come back once I mix up some more gunpowder and moonshine.
Oh, it's gone right now.
Yes, and with it being gone, it means I'm going to stop drooling in my sleep. Although I could do without the hair.
Like, why would you be drooling? Barnaby's got a puzzled face on him.
It's probably best that you don't think about that too hard.
That's a good point. I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah, me
And
too.
if any little dingalings try and wake me up again, they're gonna get Bertha in their face.
You really should think about what you say.
The
Maybe try
phrasing.
a different word, like ringing.
It gets the point
Not that there's
across.
anything wrong with waking up with a little ding-a-ling in your face, eh, Lauren?
I mean, I don't think Barnaby would like that.
If that happens, it's gonna get shot off, whatever wakes up in my face.
What if it's your perfect lady or fella?
They'd know not to wake me up that close.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Barnaby.
Touche.
Well, back to bed.
All right. The remainder of your watch, John, will pass without incident, for what it's worth. The creatures do not reappear after this threat display kills one of their own. So, who is up for last watch?
It's probably going to be me.
All right.
We're going.
Whoever's taking it, give me a perception check.
Ooh. Oh my god, I rolled good on a perception check, guys. 22.
You did it. That's a good one for Barnaby or Burberry. So Burberry.
Uh-oh.
Your watch passes without incident.
Yay! But
With the 22,
The dinglings.
you could swear that you hear just the faintest chiming of a bell somewhere nearby.
I know my friend has pissed you off. Is there any way to rectify that?
There is no answer.
Yes, just follow us into the woods.
Hold on a sec. I am going to stick 2 pickled squid tentacles on a little plate and stick it. So set it like
Off to the side.
In offering.
like, do they like them?
So while you watch them, nothing happens, and eventually, your mind starts to kind of wander. You start kind of looking, just kind of returning to your watch, and like a couple minutes later, you feel something kind of very softly just against your back, and looking down at the ground, you can see one of the squid pops on the ground.
I guess they didn't like them. I eat them.
You do well. You don't see the other one.
Oh, okay.
One of them liked one.
In that case, I will put 3 chocolate chip cookies on the thing, and then I will promptly ignore it.
Okay.
But I will eat the tentacle or the squid tentacle that got thrown at me.
Fair enough.
Look, it's not good for these things to go to waste.
It's slightly electrified.
Ooh, zangy.
I think at that, you will see one glimmering orb kind of back into sight over the plate of cookies, and it will just kind of lower itself onto the plate, and you can hear that kind of muffled chiming of a bell as something is happening down there. When it lifts up, the cookies are gone, and you see this orb of light kind of like bob over towards you, and with a very gentle chiming of its bell, it just kind of boops the nose of your mask.
Aw.
And you feel a pleasant warmth kind of just wash over your body, as you have received a magical boon. So you have a D4 that at any time in the next 24 hours you can add to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Wow, cool. I put my hand on my chest and I do like a little like head nod, like, thank you.
And it rings and kind of sweeps back over that plate, and after its final chime just vanishes.
Oh, it's not Southern hospitality, but it works.
cool. That's nice. I'm not gonna tell Barnaby about it.
I'm surprised Barnaby didn't wake up hearing the chimes.
Ding, ding, ding.
He's just sleeping with like the gun.
Yeah. But the rest of your watch will pass that incident. So,
What a great night's sleep.
waking up, everyone will have full hit points, full spell slots, recharged abilities, and in Burberry's case, an extra D4 for one check.
Sweet.
Attack or saving throw.
It smells like burnt cookies.
Really? I didn't notice.
Yeah, no, just a weird thing I noticed. Well, I see Barnaby did not get cooked alive last night. That's good.
Noelle's gonna get a message that says
They like it when you feed them.
I also like it when you tell them where people are to kill.
Noel, you hear it. Ding, ding. Behind you.
like I feel like this would be in a moment in the manga whenever it's like just the chibified cartoon Burberry face and there's just sweat drops all like, oh shit, what did I just say?
Something you did. Just still a fresh memory.
They also like cookies.
That would have been a lot simpler than what I did.
To be fair, what you did solve two birds with one proverbial rock.
That's fair.
Since we were kind of being chased at the time.
Yeah, it was dire straits. Okay. Everybody feeling good? Refreshed? Ready to go find a
Yep.
camera? That smell still up there, Rancid?
Takes a couple big whiffs into the dirt, and then barks, wagging his tail.
I'll take that as a yes. Alright. We get our things and we go.
All right. So it is not a terribly long walk. It's just a few miles off from your campsite. The ground is definitely sort of climbing more noticeably than it has been, but you do find that these sort of jagged rocks protruding out of the ground begin to sort of fall away just as much as the trees are beginning to thin out. And as you begin to climb, hello, Tenzin. That is not a good space for you, buddy. I need that screen.
He doesn't care.
Oh. As you continue to climb, you do find the air, while it was definitely warmer in the forest, the higher you climb, the kind of colder it begins to grow. And it's sharper, strangely, than it was before you passed into the Feywild. There's a dry, almost painful cutting quality to this, to the temperature. And you find the more you walk, the more you begin to see, these large carpets of snow sort of spreading out around the trees. And before long, you are trudging through sort of just a thick expanse of this, kind of continuing to climb this slick slope up towards that terrace. But within an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of climbing, a terrace is drawn within a stone's throw. You can see Rancid, as you've continued to hike, has begun to sort of fall behind the party. And Noel, you glance over your shoulder to look at him, and he very pointedly meets your gaze as he continues to slow himself down,
Okay.
falling further and further back. So, as you're approaching this terrace, what does the party want to do?
Might this be the time to pass without a trace again?
No.
Lauren?
No. Fine. Yes.
Right.
Well, I cast pass without trace.
Okay. So pass the ladder trace up. The
Let's
party
approach.
begins to approach. And as you sort of draw ever closer, your footsteps barely making sound as they pass through the snow. You can see in the growing morning light up to the edge of that distant terrace. Something is moving up there.
Okay.
And maybe 100 feet out now, you see these two massive paws sort of drape themselves over the edge of the terrace cliffside, and three large heads sort of follow, kind of protruding out, craning to look out over the forest and the slope leading up to that precipice. One looks to be the head of an old, grizzled, scarred lion. The other, something between an overlarge serpent or constrictor and something more draconic. These flared ridges over the brow and spines kind of running down the back. And third, a very ugly giant bird. These glaring yellow eyes, this long hooked beak, and these sort of thick dewlaps kind of trailing down from the base of the beak and the neck. A very greasy comb of feathers that sort of flares back across the back of the head. I'm going to need everyone to roll a stealth check for me here.
Could I give Barnaby bardic inspiration?
What?
Did we get past without a trace or no?
Yes.
24?
Okay, 24.
$36.
36.
27.
Mine is
27.
25.
25. Is that everybody?
No, that is with the bardic inspiration, that turns that to a 28.
Nice.
Okay. So as you guys sort of approaching through the snow, Rancid literally has just stopped following you at this point. He is standing a good 50 feet back, just stopped under a tree. The five of you kind of stepping up to this small copse of trees and kind of hunkering down to look up at this creature as it sort of sits and looks out over the slope. does not seem as though it has noticed your presence. And it continues to sort of just sit and stare. Its 3 heads sort of turning every which way.
How big is this thing?
So at this angle, you can really only see like the crossed front paws sort of draped over the edge of the cliff and sort of the undersides of these 3 heads. You are about say about 110 feet from it at this point. And it's probably a good like 40, 50 feet up higher than you are along this terrace. You can see that there's a couple of more gentle slopes sort of wrapping around this kind of rocky cliff face on the left and right side that look, approachable, easy enough to navigate if you wanted to try and get closer to it by that direction. Otherwise, you'd be sort of climbing up kind of steep, rocky cliff face.
Right.
You guess this thing, I mean, it looks bigger than Rancid for sure. You're not sure necessarily if this is bigger than the Jabberwock from yesterday, however.
Okay.
Although he does look formidable
Comparable
from what little you can
to
see
that.
of him. Somewhere between the 2 of them.
Does this look like the thing, Barnaby?
I mean, I only saw it from the backside, really. So,
God, you don't know, Barnaby. You can't see the backside.
There's no. It could be. It could not be. Who knows?
Can I roll something to see if I recognize it as a chimera?
I mean,
Or can Noelle, since she looked into animals?
it's got 3 heads. I think you guys are pretty confident this thing's a chimera.
Listen, I have 2 heads.
Touche.
I assume nothing.
Fair enough.
Okay. This is just a question of how we want to kick this off.
I have. Oh, I have something I want to do.
Get it,
just-
Lauren.
Summon giant vultures and turn into a Quetzalcoatl and attack. And then I'll distract it while you guys sneak up behind it.
Oh. Okay.
Solid plan.
That way Barnaby can confirm whether it's the chimera or not.
Probably would be a good idea to make sure we're not hunting the wrong thing.
Okay.
So sound like a plan?
Yeah, let's do
Sounds
it.
solid.
Alright, Alora is going to cast Conjure Animals and create 2 giant vultures.
Okay. So Pass Without Trace is going to drop, and we're going to conjure animal to make giant vultures. Okay.
And then Alora will turn into the Quetzalcoatl thingy.
Quetzalcoatlus.
Quetzalcoatl.
Copy.
The Quetzal Pretzel.
Quetzal Pretzel. Perfectly named. Okay.
Maybe that's the next thing.
So, import. All right. So with this Aloran transformation, We are dropping Pass Without a Trace. So, I am going to ask the rest of the party is going to need to make a stealth check in a second. But you are transforming, summoning, and like approaching this thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I would have like probably separated myself from the party first.
What did you want to do to separate? Like, so you're sort of in this like little clump of trees. The trees sort of like wrap around to your left and right. There's a bit of a clearing in front of you, and sort of a rock wall. And you can see that the trees sort of wrap up the slope to the left and right. If you wanted to follow in their shadow for a while.
Yeah, I'd probably like kind of leave the party.
Okay.
Wander on my own for a little bit, get some distance.
Okay.
And then
So, I would say, I mean, you could get 30 feet away from, the closest person to you before they're not going to benefit from Pass Without Trace anymore, right?
Okay, yeah.
So at 30 feet from them, you would be able to transform and summon and begin your movement.
Yeah.
Right. So, doing this, coming out of hiding and approaching the creature, I would say, it's obviously going to see these three giant things coming towards it.
Yeah.
It's going to stand up, and the rest of you sort of sitting and watching can now see as it stands, these two massive feathery wings kind of unfurl from either side of it, kind of behind the heads, and all three heads let out this kind of cacophony of roars and screeches and sort of ragged hissing. So I am going to need Lauren to roll initiative for me. The rest of you guys are currently hidden, however.
Are we still doing the 1/4 thing?
No. So I was going to say, because I know the D4 has not necessarily been most popular recently. I did want to try a bigger dice than a D4, but still not quite a D20, just to see how that feels. So I was thinking like a D10 this time.
Okay.
All right.
I will say that the moment Lauren starts moving, we're probably gonna
Start moving yourselves.
keep going. Yeah.
Okay.
9.
9 from Barnaby.
6.
6 from
Also
Burberry.
6.
5.
5. John.
Yeah.
Initiative with a D10, please.
Am I using that one thing, Jacob?
Which one thing?
The thing that you printed out?
Yeah. I'd say go ahead and try that.
I got 13.
13. That is going to take us to this guy. Who has... Okay. And Rancid, well behind the party, but rolls a 10.
He's doing his bestest.
He's doing pretty good. So, with that, I'm going to load up the stream so that you guys can see what's happening.
Okay.
It'll fucking load. Okay. So, at the top of the order, we have John. So John is currently hidden, as is the rest of the party. aside from Aloran and her 2 conjured vultures, which are sort of flying up out of the trees towards the creature. So we'll move them up some, because y'all would have been approaching. So flying through the air, flanked by your 2 vulture compatriots, Aloran. So John, do you want to do anything right this second, while Aloran is sort of starting her distraction?
I would like to try to sneak closer undercover if possible.
Okay. Do you want to sneak along the left or the right? Because that's sort of where the tree cover kind of wraps.
Well, let's go with the left.
Okay. So we'll say, how much movement do you
Lauren's
have?
on the right side right now, right?
Yeah.
What'd
So
you have?
40 feet of movement you have?
Yeah.
Okay. So you could get to here with just your movement.
Can I use my action to move too?
Yeah, if you want to dash.
Silently.
Yeah, I think you rolled a pretty fucking big stealth check, if I recall correctly. So even without pass without a trace, you are
Yeah, I
still
was
in.
at 36 with pass without a trace.
Mm-hmm. And that'll be your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. That will take us to the Chimera. So, with a roar, Aloran, as you are sort of flying up and sort of drawing level with this thing, as it begins to beat its wings in preparation to take off, you have a much better look at this thing now, and you can see, despite its apparent size and grandeur from below, looking at it, its body is covered in this very thick, matted, filthy mane of fur. And around its neck and sort of wrapping around its forelimbs is this series of glimmering silver chains, right? That are just sparkling brilliantly in the light from the sky. And as it roars and begins to lift itself up off the ground, you see these 3 points of light at the base of the neck along the chain for each head. 3 points of light sort of flash with this ethereal blue glow. And you see these sorts of almost like projector beams kind of shining out from the creature's neck and generating these images of sort of ethereal blue hooded figures who sort of fan out across the ridge overlooking the party. But the creature is going for you. So that is going to be 14 times 5 is 70, I think, which is more than he can do in one turn. So he is only going to make it. He can make it there. Or no, wait. No, it would be 10 feet back, so here. So he is there. And he is... Yeah, I think he's going to open the serpent's mouth, and you will see this sort of gathering fire beginning to form between its teeth. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
That's the creature's dex?
Yes.
So it'd just be like the +1.
Whatever the Quetzalcoatl's dex is.
Oh, not 20 +1.
Oh, are you serious? Nice. Okay. That is a success for sure. So you are only going to take half of this damage. As you take... Okay, I'm going to have to roll that because I don't actually have those dice. Okay. You are going to take 22 fire damage as a jet of fire shoots out and engulfs your body. That is going to be the end of his turn. I need to roll initiative for the projections, which is... Alright. So that's going to be... Okay. So that'll take us to Rancid, Burberry, and Barnaby, who are all on the same block of initiative.
All right. Well, I got a +5 to Dex.
How far away is it?
So at this point, the Chimera is about 50 feet from you, Noel, and Barnaby. 50 feet over ground, and it's probably about 50 feet into the air. So I think it's probably like 60-ish feet, 65.
Okay. What I'm hearing is that 30 feet's not going to cut it. All right, so
If you came out into the open and get closer to it, you would be within probably like...
oh, you did say 50
like,
feet here, so it's just like...
Yeah, melee's not happening. Right this second.
I was going to do spells, but like if it's that high, I can't reach it with the thing that I was going to do. However, I can hit it with guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt. Go ahead and give me a spell attack roll with advantage because you are hidden.
Okay. 16.
16 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that is not going to do it.
That's okay. That was with advantage, and I have a +6 to attack. I rolled a 2 to 10. I wasn't expecting much.
That is rough.
And then I am going to move away from the rest of the party so that if it attacks me, it can't AoE.
All right. Where do you want to go?
Let's
You
move.
can go out into the open, off to the side, off towards John. What are you thinking?
Let's move into one of the trees to the left of us.
All right. So
The
kind of pushing
second tree
past.
if I can make it, but if I can't make it there.
Yeah. Okay. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, roughly. Okay. That will take us to Barnaby then.
Yes.
It is your turn.
It's in the air. So I suppose I'm going to fly up. I'm going to keep Bart down near the party, but spread out a little bit. At least 10 feet away from each other. And yeah, I'll fly up. About how close would I be able to get within at least 40 feet? Flying up?
How much move speed do you have with the wing boots?
30.
30.
I mean,
So if you were to,
I can
if
do out to 120 still.
If you were to fly in a straight line towards it, I think you would be within 40 feet. I think you'd be about 35 feet from it.
Right.
Sort of roughly, 10, 12 feet off the ground, 10, 12 feet in the air, but kind of in that distant trajectory towards the creature. So I'm guesstimating hypotenuses here, so forgive me if I'm wrong.
That's all right.
But yeah, so you'd be within about 35 feet. I will say, out in the open, you are no longer hidden.
Yep. That's fine. I know what I'm getting into.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to yell this thing. Hey, could you do a quick turnaround? I need to make sure you're the thing I'm trying to kill or not. And I'm going to fire.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the hit.
That is a 31.
31.
Yes.
That is definitely going to hit.
Will be 12 damage for the first hit.
12 damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good damage.
And then another one is going to be... This one couldn't miss. That is a 17.
17.
A hit.
That is going to miss, correct.
What? Barnaby's confused. He's almost never missed a shot recently.
So the gunshot echoes through the mountain side, and you see the bolt tear through fur, but does not seem to draw any blood.
Yeah, could you turn around that way, please? I just got to confirm something.
Roars down at you. Is that everything from Barnaby then?
I think for right now, yeah.
All right. That will take us to Rancid, I suppose, who is going to come bounding up behind Burberry. And he is going to use his baleful bang again. So he lets out this echoing howl. And he's going to force the Chimera and the apparitions to make some saving throws. So.
Maybe he'll make the Chimera turn around.
Ooh! Fucking screaming at it. The Chimera succeeds. The apparitions have 2 successes and a failure, but they do not seem shaken by his attempt to scare them, as though they are immune to fear. And that will take us to the apparitions. And you'll see in unison, the 3 of them begin to raise their hands, pointing in various directions. One of them is going to point down towards you, Burberry, and it is going to cast a spell. I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw. As the ground at your feet suddenly erupts from beneath the snow with writhing black tentacles.
Yeah, I was gonna use my lovely thing to help me along, but I don't think it'll make much of a difference. That's a nat 1, friend.
Oof. That's rough.
Which brings it up to a whole 7.
7. That is a distinct failure. So...
Actually, you know what? I'll use my inspo for that. That seems like a good inspo roll.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, it's not a 1. It's an 11.
11.
But it's the dice with the dots on it, so it rolled a 1 again. I was like, but that's okay, because that brings it to a... Does a 17 pass?
17 might pass.
If it doesn't, I want to roll that
17, 17 will succeed.
Yay!
All right. So you are currently surrounded by these writhing black tentacles. You can feel this sort of oppressive aura of the spell sort of pressing it on you. But you are very, very careful to not slow down and let these things grab hold of you. It's kind of like ducking and weaving, bobbing around. The second creature is going to cast
be eaten by the ground.
another spell. And it is going to aim this at Lauren and her two compatriots in the air beside her.
What's pointing at us?
Can I ask a quick question? How high up in the air am
You'd be, if you were flying up towards it, you could be as high as you wanted to be, honestly. You had 60 feet of movement, or 80 feet of movement, I think, with that thing. So if you wanted to fly 80 feet straight up, or if you wanted to fly at an angle towards it, that would have been up to you.
Is the Chimera the thing that's pointing at people?
No, there are apparitions on the hilltop where the Chimera was that are currently pointing at people.
Wow, they are very far away. Okay, thank you.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna fall. No. Matter what.
Fair enough. All right, you want to call it just an even 30 feet?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Is it fireball?
No. So 3 beams of eldritch green energy wreathed in black smoke shoot out towards you and the vultures. What is the vultures' AC?
Like 13.
13. Okay. These guys have a...
No, 10.
10. Buddy, I gotta move you. I'm sorry. You can't be sleeping in front of the computer screen. So they are going to... I think these are all about to hit, but I need to double check because...
My AC is 17.
17. I just need to find their spell attack bonus. 7 to hit. So that is a 22 on a vulture, a 19 on a Warren, and a 14 on a vulture. So the vulture on your left, Aloran, is going to take 10 damage. You are going to take 6. And the vulture on your right is going to take 4. Okay. For the final creature, I think he is going to take aim at Barnaby, and he is going to let 3 bolts fly directly at him. So that is going to be a 23, a 22, and a 14.
14 will not hit, the rest hit.
All right. Okay, so you're going to take a grand total of 10 damage as these 3 bolts whiz towards you. And they are going to begin sort of... one's going to be sort of circling down this way. One's going to kind of follow up that way. The other one's going to be... go up here. So that will take us to Noelle and the Warren.
You go for it if you want. I'm still thinking.
I'm going to do the dive attack.
Okay. So climbing another, 20 feet, I think, to get level with this thing. And then as long as you flew at least 30 feet toward the target immediately. Okay. So if you were to fly up 40 feet from your current position and then dive bomb it, I think that would qualify you for the dive bomb.
Okay.
So I'll say go ahead and give me your 2 hit. You should be using your spell attack bonus for this right now. So +8, I think it is. +7 or 8.
Yeah. That's a 24.
24 will hit. Give me some damage.
$17.
17. Nice.
Oh wait, I also deal an extra 3d6. Sorry.
Yeah.
So an extra 8. 17 plus 8.
17 plus 8 is 24?
25.
25?
8 plus 7 is 50.
18, 19, 20. Oh, yeah, you're right. 25. Okay, 25 damage.
The
Good hit.
giant vultures will fly up and attack. I'll fly 10 feet up away from the creature.
So up into the air away from it.
Yep, and I do not get an opportunity to attack.
Yep. Okay.
Giant vultures will fly up and multi-attack. And they have pack tactics, so they get advantage on their rolls.
Okie dokie.
So the first one... The first one is a 22.
That'll hit.
So that's 6 damage.
Okay.
Second one's a 13 to hit.
That is a miss.
Okay, so the second one will do the same thing. 15, 19.
Hits.
Seven damage. And a 22.
22 will definitely hit.
12.
12 damage. Okay.
And then, do the vultures have any more?
They had 60 feet of movement. They do not benefit from your flyby thing, though. So one of them is going to take an opportunity attack. If you want to move them away from the creature.
Oh, I thought they did. Never mind.
Okay, so leave them there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at a different creature.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I see the ghost guy spirits from where I'm sitting?
Yes, they are sort of fanning out along the right side of the ridge that the creature flew from.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to hypnotic pattern the guys on the right, the two of them.
Hypnotic pattern?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
So they need to make wisdom saving throws.
Yeah, DC 17.
Okay. So they are going to fail. Unfortunately, as this blast of color and swirling patterns sort of washes over these two figures. Noelle, watching from where you're standing, they do not seem to be affected by your charm.
Okay. Then I will... Let's see...
So remember, Burberry is currently surrounded by a 20-foot radius of writhing black tentacles right now.
Is that not marked, or is that just...
I was trying to mark it, but like for some reason the
Oh, is it
the
drawing
thing
like
is
under
huge.
the... Oh.
The,
Well, that's...
it's like,
I mean, that does mark it.
yeah.
Okay. Let's do... I'm gonna just dart forward. Can I get behind or between these trees up here?
You were right here,
Yeah.
so you could get to about here
Okay.
with 30 feet of movement.
How high up is this ridge where I'm standing then?
Probably about like 10 feet
Okay.
at that point.
I'll just stay. Sorry, where did I land? Right here ish?
Yeah.
Would I be roughly out of the eye line of the guys at the top of the ridge, or no?
Yeah, at this point, probably.
Okay.
You've got enough coverage from, I think, the tree covering you.
Okay. Let's see. That's action. Yeah, we'll call that my turn for now.
Okay. That will take us back to the top of the order with John.
Can I get a overview of the current state of the field?
Yeah. So you are the only person still hidden at this point. Burberry is surrounded by a mass of writhing black tentacles. Noelle has run out across the first clearing, kind of taking cover behind a tree. Barnaby is about 30-ish feet into the air, give or take, out in the open, while Aloran and her vultures currently are sort of like circling and swarming the Chimera. And at the top of the ridge, you have the 3 phantasms.
Is the Chimera still on the ground, or is it airborne?
It is currently airborne, about 50 feet up from where you and Burberry stand.
So, the phantasms, have we found out if they're able to be hit by non-magical attacks?
No one's attacked them yet.
Crap. Okay.
Hypnotic pattern did not work on them, though.
Well, I'm just worried that I don't have a magical attack. So if I attack, I'm not going to do anything.
Is your
I can't
sword not
attack
magical?
Which,
Don't you have like
What,
an
when-
enchanted sword or no?
I don't think I do.
Didn't your serpent sword
Serpent
thing?
one that does poison damage?
Is that magical?
Yeah, it's a magic item.
Oh, I didn't realize. I didn't realize the fact that it did poison damage made it magical.
I mean, if it's a magic item of any kind, it's magical.
Oh, okay. Well, that's handy to know. Is any of the phantasms within reach of me right now?
The closest one to you is 18 times 5, so 95-ish feet from you at this point.
What's the thing over by or
This is a
Noelle.
misclick. I can't get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
So just ignore it.
I guess I'll continue sneaking towards the phantasms from now on.
Okay. So closest you would get is 80 feet, so that would be 16, I think. So you can get like over here. I'll say once you're getting close to them, I'm going to need you to make another stealth check.
Okay. That is 24.
Okay, 24. They do not react to your presence and do not seem to know that you're there. That will take us to the Chimera, who is... Okay. Currently surrounded by giant vultures and a big-ass Quetzalcoatl thing. That Quetzal was a problem. So it is going to Given that it's currently flanked, I think it's probably going to lash out at the guys around him first, just so he's not dealing with them. So, the vulture on the right is going to take a 13 to hit. The one on the left is going to take a 23 to hit.
Yep.
Vulture both going to hit.
Yep.
Okay. So the one on the left is going to take. Whoop. That's going to be. It's going to be 17 damage.
It's dead.
All right. So one vulture vanishes. And the one on the right is going to take. Ooh, that's good damage. That's going to be 23.
Dead.
Yeah. So poof, poof. And then he will rise into the air towards the Quetzalcoatlus and attempt to jab you with his stinger. Actually, he can reach you if he just reaches a little bit. So from below you, you feel this stinger kind of rising up towards you, this like scorpion tail off the back of the creature. And that is a dirty 20 to hit.
Yep.
So you are going to take 22 piercing damage.
Cool. A line's falling.
All right. So, given that you rushed up this cliff, you're actually not super high up off the ground. Although you went above it,
Yeah.
so you'd still be. Okay, it's still probably like 30 damage or 30. Excuse me.
How much was
36.
the damage?
It was 22 piercing damage. And I also believe that I need you to make a Constitution saving throw once you hit the ground, which will it's going to deal 7 bludgeoning damage. Is that Tenzin?
Looks like a porcupine.
Buddy,
He wants nothing.
he wants warm. I think he's cold.
You guys have enough. So Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
Okay, let me pull up my character sheet on that
Bubba.
one. Ooh, I rolled a nat 20.
Okay, that is a success. So you definitely felt a burning sensation from the sting as poison began to course through the Quetzalcoatl's body. But due to the high amount of damage you just took, the body kind of melts away. And as you fall, the stinger is no longer in you, and you do not suffer the ill effects of the poison. That is most of his turn. I think he is going to fly over towards Barnaby with the rest of his movement. And that is going to take us to Burberry and Barnaby's turn.
Okay.
Can I see its ass from here?
Nah.
Does
You can.
Does it look like the picture?
It does.
Oh my god! It's him, Barnaby.
Gasp.
How do you know? Can you see his butt?
I can.
He roars at you, embarrassed and furious.
Blushes.
I'm gonna move out of these black tentacles if possible.
Okay, so they are difficult terrain. And at the start of your turn, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
And that's just at the end?
No, this is at the start of your turn.
Oh, okay. 23.
Okay, that is a success.
I want
So,
out of these.
You
I'll take the half movement to get through difficult terrain.
Yeah, so to get out, I think you're going to need a dash because it is... Or no, it's 10 foot to the edge. So 20 feet of movement to get to the edge. And then the last step gets you out of it. You are free. That gives you 5 more feet of movement if you want to. If you want to use it.
How far is the Chimera away from me?
He is... So he's level with Barnaby. So he's probably about 15 feet in the air. Or maybe not level, but like just hovering above him. So probably like 20 feet. And he is about 30 feet out from your position. So like 35 to 40-ish feet in a straight line.
Okay. How far away are these pointy people?
The phantasms on the hill. The closest one is about 90 feet from you.
All right, that seems like enough for a guiding bolt. We'll see if it works this time.
All right, guiding bolt. Rolled hit.
17.
17 will hit.
Cool. All right. We can take this 4d6 of radiant damage and have disadvantage later.
Grr.
Rawr. I'd say eat me, but that's actually a possibility, so please don't do that. Okay, that's... 16 in the next attack on him has advantage.
Okay. 16 damage on the phantasm. That will take us to Barnaby.
Barnaby's having flashbacks. If Noel says what's true, he has to confirm it. I'm going to fly around and fuck you.
I mean, as long as you stay close enough, this thing's not going to take an opportunity attack necessarily. But yeah, like kind of circling underneath it as it kind of like pivots in the air and swings at you. You can definitely see the rear end of this creature, this large, shaggy lion's backside with a long scorpion-like tail. This looks like the creature from your memory. It was he who done it.
I knew I got it. Drawn right. Everybody else was mocking it.
It's surprisingly accurate.
Right. All right, then, you. It's time for you to go down. I'm going to avenge my paw.
All right. Go ahead and roll the hit.
$18 to hit.
That will beat it.
All right, and that is 11 damage.
Okay.
And then that is 23 to hit.
23 to hit.
Yep.
That's going to hit.
And then that is max damage 18 there.
Ooh. Good damage. Okay.
Been 5 years since I last saw you.
Roar! The roars angrily, swiping. Anything else on your turn, Barnaby?
Let's see. I think that's it. I'm going to give Bark command to get closer to somebody. Still within 10 feet, but stay on the ground within 10 feet of somebody.
All right. He'll move closer to Burberry.
No.
Right. Rancid is going to begin charging up the hill, also taking to the air, going for the creatures up on the phantasm. So that will take us to the apparitions. They are going to... Tenzin, what are you doing, buddy? Stop. Okay. He's like cutting out my feet on my monitor. Okay. So, first Phantasm is looking down at the battlefield. And it knows Noel just kind of ducked down out of sight. We've got to... That's kind of hard to justify, but I can see 3 people. Okay, so what I think we're going to do then is the first Phantasm is going to... We're going to cast... Actually... Do not do this, please. Kill me.
He wants love and attention.
Do what?
He wants love and attention.
He wants the heat of lights and computers. I guarantee it. Okay, you know what? This first one's, I think, is just going to use Eldritch Blast again. He is going to take shots at Barnaby, who is still floating around in the air. That is a nat 20, a 24, and a 19.
Those all hit.
They hit?
Yep.
All right. So that's going to be some damage.
Can't silvery barbs that one, unfortunately.
All right, my guy. 18, 24, 29 force damage on Barnaby. That is going to be his turn. I think he's going to walk over towards this guy at the end of his turn. This guy, I think, is going to cast another spell targeting a Lauren, Barnaby. Can he reach Burberry? I'm so red. That's going to be... Oh, no, I don't think he can reach them. He needs to move. So that's... Okay, yeah, he's not reaching them. All right, new plan. So this guy is going to cast another spell. And he and his buddy are going to vanish from their current position and reappear much further down the slope.
Sounds familiar.
Over here. And the final guy is going to advance to this position. At that point, 1, 2. Okay, so that is still not far enough. Okay, we're gonna just target Barnaby and Lauren. I need you both to make wisdom saving throws.
Ooh, I'm good at those.
Out of curiosity, is this a charming affair?
This is not.
Okay.
21.
Someday that trait will be relevant.
Someday.
That is a nat 20 minus 1, 19.
2 successes.
Nice.
You both feel your bodies momentarily beginning to seize up and very quickly kind of force your will through the magic before it fully entraps you and shrug off the spell. And that will be their turn. Noelle, it is your turn. Anna Lawrence.
That was Anna Lauren, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing, Chani, or should I go?
You can go if you know.
How high up is the Chimera from where I am? It's like 30 feet, or?
At this point, he's lower than that. He's probably like 25 or 20. He's like just over Barnaby's head.
Okay. So I go measure something here. How far out am I from these two spirits that just teleported down toward us?
The closest one would be about 55 feet.
Okay.
The other one is 65.
Okay.
60, 65.
Poor John, he just ran all the way over there. Okay. And, last question. How's the Chimera looking?
Bloodied, but he is still very pissed and up and kicking.
Okay. Well, seems like it's time to take out the big guns then. Noelle's going to think back to all the animals she read about and remember the prehistoric ones and cast Polymorph turning into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay. So, Noelle, as you begin to cast this spell, you see one of the phantasms across the way wave a hand at you, and expecting a counterspell, you find yourself surprised by the sudden pulling sensation at the center of your navel, and you feel yourself sort of starting to buckle and pull inwards. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. It's not a terrible roll. Wisdom save, that's a 20 total.
All right. That is a success.
I don't know what was about to happen, but I'm glad I succeeded.
Pushing back against the magic, you force your way through, finish your incantation, and transform into a T-Rex.
Okay. I think Noelle is like a big white, she's a T-Rex that's totally albino white, and then she has like white feathers that fade into red all across her body.
Okay.
That's pretty.
You can't tell what's color and what's blood
Exactly.
at the end of the day.
All right.
And I'm going to run over to those two ghosts who just tried to fuck with me.
Okay. I think you're huge as a T-Rex.
Yep.
And you have 50 feet of movement. So from there you could get to here. Whoa. All right.
And that's my turn.
Lauren, it is your turn.
Looks like I'm being chumped. There we go.
I will cast Fire Shield on myself.
Okay. So Lauren is wrapped in this sort of skin-hugging wreath of flame.
And I'm going to do it so that I have resistance to fire damage.
Okay. Fair enough.
And then I will turn back into a Quetzalcoatl.
Wow.
Like whatever it's called.
All right.
and I'll just fly up right onto the Chimera.
Okay, flying over to him. Okay. So he is just getting mobbed right now. Good for him. That will take us back to John.
Alright, so they fucking ran away from me, right?
Two of them teleported down to get a better angle on the rest of the party. One of them advanced on Aloran, and then she turned into a bird and flew away. So he is currently the closest one to you by about...
How close?
He is at 65 feet. In a straight line.
Okay. I guess I will use my movement to get as close as possible without getting detected.
Okay, I mean, you can do your full movement, get within 40 feet of him.
Oh, right, I can do my ghost water dive, so...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could get there.
I'll do that.
So I'll say, go ahead and give me an attack roll as you whoosh, erupt from the ground in a wave of briny water.
Thank all the gods. Did I remember to rage before?
You haven't raged yet.
You have not.
Can I activate my rage before I ghost water dive?
Sure.
That's
Good,
kinda
because
what
I
you-
critted. I got a natural 20.
All right.
It's been so fucking long.
Yeah, it has been a while since a John crit.
Okay, so I honestly kind of forget all this shit that goes down now.
I mean, you rolled double the dice.
Yeah, but I've got the 1d10 for the poison, plus the 1d8 for the slashing, plus the 8 for the other damage, plus the brutal critical, and then I forget if there's anything else.
I think that's everything.
The savage attacks. Wait, do I have both brutal critical and savage attacks, or is it separate?
I don't know where John is right now as far as his...
No, I don't have brutal critical. That's at 9th level.
Okay.
I do have savage attack. Which doesn't level up, I don't think.
No, it shouldn't.
Okay. So basically, it's just I do 3d10, 3d8, and plus 8.
I think it's savage. Does... I don't think that the half-orc thing applies to all of your dice, because it says reroll one of your weapon dice.
Oh. What was this?
Yeah, when you score a critical hit, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice one additional time. And add to the extra
okay.
damage of the critical hit.
So I guess I'll reroll the 1d.
Or you roll another D something.
Yeah, but would it be the poison damage or the slashing damage, or do I get to
You
choose?
choose.
I would say choose.
I think I'll go with the slashing damage just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
So
how
I'll
much
be
is it?
rolling. I'll be rolling 3d8s, 2d10s, and then add
Plus-
8.
Plus 8, yeah.
Okay.
So that is. Alright, I'm trying to. Okay, so. 30. No,
Yes.
40.
30 something, 40 something, 50 something.
Well, it's 16, 17, and 8. So. Trying to do the damn math in my head, but god damn it.
32 plus
math.
8, 40.
Well, 16 plus 17 is 33
3.
Yep,
33.
33.
plus 8, so
40.
41.
41. 41 total. How much of that was poison? 17? Or
How much that was poison was
Yeah.
16.
16? Okay. So, the creature does not seem even remotely phased to the poison damage.
Figured.
The slashing motion definitely kind of cuts through this ephemeral form, but the poison kind of trailing your blade doesn't really find any purchase on it. So minus 17, 8. It is definitely starting to look sort of unstable. The image is beginning to sort of flicker and sputter, but it is still standing. That is going to take us to the Chimera. Okay. So, Barnaby,
Yes.
you have this Chimera flying above you. And you see him fold his wings in and drop down on top of you.
Oh,
What?
no.
So you guys are going to drop
Strategy.
20 feet to the ground. And you're going to have this big ass fucking creature landing on top of you. So. Barnaby, you are going to take a grand total of 19 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
The creature takes half of his damage and passes it along to you, landing on top of you. And now that you are prone underneath him, he begins to savage you with his claws and head of horns or teeth. So that is going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah.
That's definitely hitting. That's a 25 to hit. And then the tail. That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Does Lawrence Quetzal get an attack of opportunity against the Chimera?
So, fun fact: the Chimera. Oh, this is a different Chimera. No, yeah, she would. I was like, Chimeras have flyby too. Haha. It's like, wait, I'm using a different Chimera. Fuck. This one has other stuff.
It would be a 26.
26 to hit. That'll hit.
This will be nice before Barnaby gets mauled to death.
Yeah.
How much was that on me?
I haven't done the damage yet. Did
Okay.
the 19 hit you?
19 still hits, yes.
19 hit, so they all hit.
Yeah.
This is gonna hurt.
Oh boy.
Oh, shit.
How much was the damage?
My computer froze. I'm trying to reload the puzzle model.
It's 3d6, I think.
I already rolled a 3d6.
Oh.
I'm trying to see what the. Okay,
Plus 2.
so 20 damage.
20 total. Good damage. Alright. So yeah, so Barnaby, calculating your damage now. You're gonna take, on the first attack, that is 16, 23, 27 damage from the first attack.
On a 7 from the first.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Ow. That really hurt.
The second attack did not roll as well. That is going to be 13 damage.
Alright.
And the final attack.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
That was a lot of dice.
Yeah.
That's going to be 24 damage.
Barnaby still good, doing good?
I'm gonna get you right after I regain consciousness.
And Barnaby is out cold.
Oh boy.
That will take us to Barbary and Barnaby. So Barnaby, if you want to roll me a death save real quick.
Don't bother. Have some cure wounds at level 3.
So you're going to run over and touch him?
Yeah.
Alright. But he is still prone under this thing. So you're like running up next to him, just like tap. You're fine. Get up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stand up, Barnaby.
15, 18.
18 hit points for Barnaby.
He's awake.
Told you I'd be back.
Alright.
You know what? I'll stay right here.
I will not move. Okay. Barnaby, it's your turn. You are currently prone under a chimera who looks like he's rearing up to fucking slam down on you one more time. What do you want to do?
Let's see. I think what I'm gonna do.
Welcome back, Kenzie.
I am bonus action gonna second wind.
Okay.
Good time for
I
that.
see his skill.
Let's I have to use it very often. We usually just kill things quick.
Mm-hmm.
Not so easy this time, is it?
It's like a final boss or something.
Weird.
I'm going to gain 15 hit points there.
Okay. Doing better.
And then I am going to try and shock and grasp this thing.
Okay. So, as you reach up to begin casting your spell, one of the other hooded figures on the other side of the T-Rex waves its hand, and Barnaby, I need you to make another wisdom saving
I
throw.
roar at him.
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
18 minus 1, 17.
Fucking hell. All right.
Actually rolling well for once.
Yeah, those are two good wisdom saves so far.
Yeah, that was a clutch. You feel some sort of magic trying to take hold of you, but you push through it, let out the shocking grasp.
Alright, so I have to make a melee spell attack against it. And that is 19, 14 plus 5.
14 plus 5. All right. That's good damage.
No,
As
that
Oh
was,
no, that was the roll to hit.
Oh, roll to hit. Oh, 19
Yeah.
will do it then.
Alright, so that is 2d8 damage. It's going to be 14.
14. Good damage.
And
Almost
that
a
creature cannot take not take reactions till the start of his next turn, and with that, I'm going to light up my rocket boots again and try to fly up over this thing. I know I'll take half my movement, but I'm going to move away from it.
You like shoot out from under it, just like sliding across the snow and then up into the air. All right, so whoosh. So hovering up in the air now.
I'm just going to look at that cloaked figure. You're next, buddy.
Oh, please don't tell me you just left it alone with me.
Oh, Lauren's
Thanks,
there.
Burberry.
Mean.
All right.
Please back.
You've got 2
That
dinosaurs
will-
on your back, Burberry.
That will take us to the cloaked figures.
I'm more concerned about the dinosaur on my front.
So, first off, right in front of you, Noelle, you will see one of these creatures wave their hand at you.
Oh boy. Yeah,
I
spell
need you-
magic, right?
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay. And this is with the T-Rex's stat blocks. This will be interesting. Come on, give me a sweet, sweet something. This feels like a use your inspiration type moment.
No, that's fine. You don't have to do that.
So I'm gonna do that.
No,
If I can get my character sheet
you
up.
don't need to use their inspiration.
I'm just gonna use my inspiration. Oh, that might actually save. 19 total.
Fucking god. Yep. Good job.
That was a 4 and an 18 I rolled.
Hooray!
You feel something beginning to wrap around your mind, but in the blind rage of a T-Rex's rampage, you just powered through it. And seeing the spells did not have any effect, you see the second cloaked figure very quickly grab a hold of the one in front of him, and poof,
That's what I thought.
they're gonna teleport across the battlefield again.
That's some fuck off energy right there.
It's like, well, we tried.
Come, brother, let's go.
Oh, fun. Actually, before they disappeared, Noel, you would need to make another wisdom saving throw.
What?
They had a passive thing that goes off when you're close to them.
10?
10. Okay. I wish you'd rolled that earlier. But being this close to these things, you can hear this like eerie, otherworldly whispering, this like cacophony of voices sort of surrounds these specters. And you are going to take a big fat 5 psychic damage. That's it. John, I need you to make the same wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Okie dokie. Four.
4. Cool. You take 11 psychic damage.
Ow.
Owie zowie.
John don't understand this damage that is not physical.
Not fair. That is just a cast ability. So for his turn, he is going to use. He's going to sort of strafe you, just kind of like glancing over his shoulder. And I'm going to need you, Burberry, and Barnaby to make wisdom saving throws.
Again?
You were really muffled there and I couldn't hear who you said.
John, Barnaby, and Burberry need to make wisdom saves.
Well, the ride had to end sometime. That's a 7 minus 1, 6.
24?
Okay. That's a pass.
I'd hope so.
Fucking better be.
7.
7. All right. John and Barnaby, you both feel your bodies seizing up,
Oh, Jesus.
and you are now paralyzed.
Oh, it's not good.
And you will see this
John is angry paralyzed.
this figure is going to just run away from you. That is going to take us to Noel and Oren.
Well, my turn.
Well, I'm just gonna dive attack.
We're both gonna fuck up this chimera.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna do is dive attack.
Yay!
Go ahead and give me your rolls to hit.
Get it!
Damn it.
That is a
It's a miss.
30-20.
20's gonna hit.
Cool, so I'm doing it the dive attack, so I'm using my...
Extra 3d6, yep.
Yep.
So bite was a nat 1. Tail attack is a 25.
That's hitting.
Okay. That's 25 bludgeoning damage from the tail attack.
25 bludgeoning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Lauren.
I'm working on it.
Gosh, if only you were in the same square as me, Barnaby, I could neutralize your paralysis.
Look, I didn't want to be under that thing, alright?
Tell me about it.
Yeah, he's like currently suspended in the air by his rocket boots, just like rigidly still.
31.
31.
Nice.
So two giant dinosaurs just dive bomb this chimera. Start beating the ever-loving fuck out of it.
Do I like dinosaurs?
I can't say they're my favorite though.
I'm just gonna put like quick for flavoring. This is where Burberry like does his best to hit the deck.
Just ducks. Yeah, the tail comes down, and as soon as it like stands back up, the beak like pierces its side. It screams with all three of its heads. Not in great shape, but it's still alive.
Okay.
That is going to take us to John. That is not how whole person works. It's called whole person. John. So John, you're paralyzed for your turn.
John would like to rage out of the paralyzed.
If only.
Well, so at the end of you can't do anything on your turn, but at the end of your turn, you do get to make another wisdom save.
John is so angry he will rage out of this. 12.
12 is going to fail, my friend.
John's rage builds.
You just see him vibrating violently where he stands in the snow.
Just check, by the way. I made concentration check on polymorph, just to be clear. I got 14.
Did you take damage?
Yeah, the T-Rex took the psychic damage from the...
Oh, right. Okay.
Just making
Good,
sure.
good. Cool. Well, that will take us to the Chimera, who has two big dinosaurs to contend with now and is just going to start lashing out furiously.
Yay!
We've distracted him, Burberry.
Thank you.
Noelle first. That's going to be a 26 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
So you are going to take... 24 slashing damage.
Okay.
So concentration check, please.
Yep, that's... Sorry, just calculating damage here. And then... Concentration... Oh yeah, that's a 21.
Damn. All right. Lauren. That is going to be an 18 to hit.
That'll hit, but because it's attacking me with a melee attack, it will take 2d8 damage because of my shield.
Motherfucker.
So it'll take 7 damage.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. So, lunging at you with its fangs bared in two mouths and like clamping down, you feel the force of the impact like piercing your flesh, but it very quickly recoils as the fire singes its throat. 22 damage. And Burberry, just because you're underfoot, the tail is thrashing around, and I think you're going to have to duck under this last strike.
That's a crit.
That's a net 20.
So very close.
Burberry like hits the deck. He's like, "Don't let them hit me," and the tail just whams right down on top of you.
Wrong place.
So Burberry, you are going to take
Oh, Jesus.
critical damage.
Oh, that was a lot of dice.
So that's 10, 20. That's going to be 34 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Or piercing damage, excuse me. And then I need you to make a Constitution saving
Wait,
throw. for
piercing
me.
damage?
It is piercing because it's like a big scorpion tail.
Okay. So wait. Sorry, could you repeat that?
34, and then a
Okay.
Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Fell right under the stinger.
That's a natural 20 on the Constitution.
We are making the saves.
So like inside the robe, the actual stinger will say like punched a hole straight through the middle of Burberry's like robes, and like the tail smashed into whoever was on bottom, but the stinger missed whoever was on top by like an inch as they like pulled their legs up. So no poison.
Can I add flavor stuff in again?
Yeah.
So my next turn I'm planning on moving up 10 feet anyway. Can you say that the tail sent me flying 10 feet north?
Sure.
Make it
fun. And that is going to be the Chimera's turn. That will take us to Burberry and Barnaby. So Barnaby, if I can get a wisdom save from you, please.
All right. See if the dice will grace me with a higher roll.
Wait, couldn't
Yeah.
if Burberry's gonna help Barnaby, couldn't they go first, or is it?
I mean, he could. Yeah, if you want to go target Barnaby.
I didn't know what they were gonna do.
He's
I can't get to him because it's a touch
because he's
spell.
flying. Yep. Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
So how far away is the duder to the north of me?
You would not necessarily be able to see him directly because of the tree in your way, but he is about 35 feet from your current position. Probably 40 because of the incline.
One of these days, who's gonna get within 30 feet of me, and then I'll have a day. But that's okay. How about the two to the northeast? Are they? What's their how far?
They are about 60 feet.
60 feet, you say?
Yes.
How would they feel about a little bit of banishment?
You can certainly try.
I'll try and banish one of them. It's a charisma saving throw. You just gotta beat a 14.
Okay. They are not terrible at this. And that's a nat 20, so it doesn't matter. That's a success. Good try, though. So, Barnaby, how was that wisdom save? Any good?
Well, maybe it's a 16 minus 1.
15?
Yep.
15 makes it.
Ooh.
Very, very close, my friend, but your paralysis wears off just in time for the phantasms to take their turn.
Uh-oh.
So one of them was concentrating, and two of them are currently not concentrating.
Are these tentacles still here, by the way?
Probably, because I don't think they dropped it necessarily. Actually, wait, no, because this
I
was
didn't
the
know
one
if
that
they were
was up the
concentration or
hill,
not.
so that wouldn't be there anymore. They are concentration, but that was the one that cast it, I think.
Okay.
So I think what's about to happen is that we're just gonna be unloading a volley of Eldritch Blasts. So John is currently paralyzed.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Is he still raging
Which-
or not?
Technically not, but he is on the inside.
So we can creep in. We'll get up on him, and we'll just start at point blank. So as long as these hit, they're crits. So that's going to be a 18 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay. Second blast. That is a 20 to hit.
Does not hit.
20 doesn't hit?
Nope.
How does that not hit you?
Because my AC is 21.
Jesus.
How did you miss? He was right in
He's paralyzed right in front of you. How did you miss?
This is fucking stupid. Alright, that's definitely hitting. That was a 16 plus 7, so. One of these is dealing damage. 11 force damage.
Okay.
We're gonna unload on. We'll hit Barnaby next. He's in the air. He's out in the open. So one of the guys out in the woods. That's a nat 1. That is a dirty 20.
Yep.
And that is a 22. So that, fucking god, 4 force damage. And
Dinglings did more than that.
how far are they from?
Check out these deals of the week at Walgreens.
Will one last attempt. Gonna get within 60 feet of Noel, and we're gonna make you do another wisdom saving throw,
Oh.
please.
I don't have inspiration anymore. 15?
That beats it.
Tyrannosaurus has a +1 wisdom.
No. All right, it's your turns. You and Lauren. The Chimera is still up. from the
Laura, would you like to
phantasms.
do the honors?
Is it still alive?
It is still up and kicking.
Alright, I will roll.
What? Did you crit?
I was also doing the dive bomb. I just wanted you to know because I have 80 foot of movement.
So that's 12d6. Okay, just tell me how you want to do it. He's fucking gone. I can guarantee you he's gonna fucking die.
I can't rip off all 3 of its heads at once, can I?
Sure, fuck it.
Yeah, well, Laura's gonna die again.
It's 12d6.
And she's just gonna fucking all 3 heads.
Just like a
off.
pair of scissors, just
Yeah.
decapitating this thing. It's like when you take a pair of scissors, like just slide it along the paper.
Oh, yeah, there
Like,
you go.
you never
I
close
like to
them.
imagine instead of taking off its heads, you just destroyed everything else but the heads.
Yeah, this Chimera is fucking mincemeat. So that leaves Noelle and her turn.
Considering how humongous I am, could I get up this cliff or no? How big is this cliff?
I'd call it difficult terrain, but it's not going to take you. I think you've got enough movement.
I got 50 feet.
1, 2, 3. So then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 would be 50. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
buddy.
just this Tyrannosaurus just scrambling up.
I mean, I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to hit him because he's a ghost, but let's try. So first, we'll start with a bite attack.
Oh yeah, that's 29.
That hits.
Okay. Let's see if this does anything. Not great damage. 19.
That will deal some damage. You close your jaws around this thing, and you definitely feel this like intense, like thrashing magical energy in your mouth. But as it kind of like rebukes when you pull back, you can definitely see it is very shaky. The image is struggling to maintain its integrity.
I will say this does grapple him as well.
Oh, really?
Is he immune to being grappled?
Let me look. He is not. No.
Okay. I don't think it's super relevant because I was gonna just tail attack him anyway.
You know, like just spit him onto the ground and
Yeah.
spin around and whack him.
Because he's looking pretty rough at this point, right?
Yeah, he's not looking good.
Okay. Oh, that might not hit. 16?
16 will just meet it.
Okay.
Tenzin, really?
Yeah, he's
No.
coming around your side.
Stop.
Still not great. 18?
18 damage. It is barely recognizable as a hooded figure. It is just kind of this shimmering humanoid shape of light and magical energy, but it is still standing in front of you.
Okay. Well, it's everything a T-Rex can do.
All right. That will take us to John, who is paralyzed. Go ahead and give me another wisdom save, please. Oh, actually, wait, no. He just took 2 big fucking hits. That's going to succeed.
What's going on?
That will succeed. Okay. He barely maintained concentration on her person, so you are still paralyzed. So go ahead and give me another wisdom save.
God damn it. Thinking, fuck God, finally. 18.
That will do it.
Do I have
So
anything I can do on my turn, or is that literally
that is the end of your turn.
God damn it.
But you are no longer paralyzed. And this thing is now surrounded by you and a T-Rex, which is not good.
I better pray to God that my turn doesn't come around again.
That's going to take us to Barnaby and Barnaby.
So I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna go stand next to Rancid.
Okay. So get up here or like below him. Where do you want to
Next,
stand?
there's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So kind of clamber up this shallow cliff face and stand next to Ransom. I think it's his turn. He, I think, is going to rush towards the furthest one just to jump his shit and try to attack it.
Yes.
He's going to do... That's probably a hit, I think. Yeah, that's definitely a hit. So he does a big fat 2d6 damage. That's not bad. Okay. So he bites. He connects. He does a little chomp. And that is his turn.
Barnaby?
All right.
Barnaby. What are you doing?
So let's big boys now. We just got the boys. I could probably reach one out with disadvantage, so I'm going to try that. One.
That one is 50 feet away from you.
Yeah, I'd have disadvantage, but I got a pretty good roll to hit.
You could.
Well, let's test it. That's a 15 total. That was nat 1.
15 is not going to hit.
All right.
Oh, nat 1 definitely doesn't hit.
Yeah. Figured, but I'd try. Let's see. So that's the first hit. Let's try another hit. That one is a bit better. That is a 30.
30 definitely hits.
All right. That is 17 damage.
17 damage is going to connect. That will do it unless you want to action surge or anything else.
And you did say Big Boy was down.
Big Boy is down.
Oh, yeah. I'll go to finish this one off if I can.
All right.
That is a 31.
31 hits.
And 9 damage. And then the next hit is a 26 to hit, and then that is 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. Good damage. And that'll do it for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. So, I'm going to need Noelle, John, and Rancid to make wisdom saves for me at the start of the apparition's turn.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
God, this T-Rex. 18?
That's a success.
Thank God I got an 18.
Okay. So, Rancid got a nat 1. He is going to take bloody... I need this fucking screen. I'm sorry. He keeps curling up in front of me. Rancid's going to take 12 damage from the howling... or the whispering aura, excuse me. So he takes a little bit off the top there. And these figures are not in a great position, but given that they are not necessarily super expressive, they sort of have these just shadowy faces under the hoods. They don't really let on much beyond continuing to do as they are bid. And they are out of slots. So I think we're just falling back on Eldritch Blast at this point. So, John.
All right. Oh, is it not my turn? It's attacking me.
He's attacking you, yeah. That's going to be only one of these is going to connect. That's an 18 plus 7, so 25. Oh my god. 1 force damage. Plink.
Bounce off your pack.
Burberry, I think you're going to take some shots. Does a 20 hit?
No.
That doesn't hit. Okay, 21.
No.
All right.
I'm just gonna tell you now. My AC at the moment is 23. So good luck.
Oh right.
Well,
You can tell my Burberry
Squad.
very much enjoyed saying no.
A little bit.
T-Rex Noelle.
I was waiting.
Oh, they can hit me.
The last in my way.
Does an 11 hit the T-Rex?
Oh my god, he missed.
Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this might hit actually. 23.
Is this a melee attack?
No, it's an Eldritch Blast.
Okay, yeah, that's
Okay, you take 4 force damage. And Noel does a 17 hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, 5 force damage.
Okay.
Doth concentration need to be rolled?
Yes. Oh. I failed.
Voomp.
That's a 2.
Sorry.
And you drop to the ground. Restored
Get
to your
the
former
side of the
self.
head with an Eldritch Blast. I'm like, what?
What happened? Oh shit!
Fuck.
I was a dinosaur.
I got ahead.
Yeah. So these two are going to start backing up.
Scared of little old me?
Maybe a little bit. This one's going to risk the attack from Rancid. So, yeah. Rancid will make his op attack. That's going to hit. That's going to be another 12 damage.
Continuing in Flavorland, I think the Eldritch Blast did hit, and I just did not seem phased.
Just like, ding, 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 ding.
Oh no, I just meant like it went all the way through.
And yeah, that is their turn. I don't feel like these things really have necessarily a huge thing on self-preservation. I think this one's going to try and back up too, just to like regroup with the others. So Noel and John are probably taking opportunity attacks.
Sure, why not?
Very much
I'll let
so.
John go first.
19 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Come on, just a few threads of ghost left.
So I rolled max damage on my slashing.
Yep.
Blazing doesn't affect it, so I'm not even rolling it.
Yep.
So that's 16 damage total. Or no, sorry, it's 14 damage total.
14 damage total, and it will vanish from sight, completely dispelled by the damage taken. So that leaves us at Noel and Aloran's turn.
Okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna.
Wait, was it my turn or
That was just an opportunity attack.
You're up after me, Lauren. Can I get over to these trees?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you could get like there.
Okay. I'm gonna cast. I don't think I've ever cast this before. Shatter.
Oh shit!
Shatter's fun.
All right.
4-man's fireball.
I need to make a con save.
Yeah, let me double check. Unless you got it up, then I try.
I just pulled
Okay.
it up. So 2 Constitution saves. Pretty sure these are both failures. A 10 and a 13.
Those will both fail. So creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save. Don't think the rest of this is relevant. So, 8, 8, 7. Holy shit! So 16 plus 7 is 23.
Good damage. They are not looking great. One of them is definitely wavering more than the other. But they are definitely on the back foot. Aloran, it is your turn. What do you want to do?
So who's still alive?
There are 2 phantasms that are sort of retreating back up towards the cave mouth.
I can't reach them with 80 feet of movement, right?
You have 80 feet of movement.
As a Quetzalcoatl, I think I do.
Yeah, 14 times 5 is 70. So yeah, you could reach one of them for sure.
All right.
Come.
Can I like get it so that I'm kind of blocking the other one, or
So that you're doing what?
oh, so I can't get like 10 feet past him, like on the other side of him.
Because that would be 70 feet. So yeah, you could go another to there. So you could be like over him to attack him in the air.
Okay, I'll dive attack. Well, I'll dive attack him. Wait, we're attacking?
Yeah, I think dive attack works because you still moved 30 feet.
Yeah. $25 damage.
25. Well, now they both look like garbage. Both of them wavering badly. They're not long for this world, I don't think. John, Burberry, Barnaby, Rancid.
Is it my turn?
It is y'all's turn.
Yeah, so I'm kind of angry at this point. So
Fair.
John's gonna rage.
Yep.
And then he's just gonna run right at the closest thing and smack it as hard as he can.
Okay. I think you're going to need a ghost water dive to reach it because it is 20 or it's 50 feet from your current location.
Okay. What if I switch into my glaive then? If I'm
So you would still
40
be.
feet, that would put me at 10 feet, which would put me within range, wouldn't it?
No, because then it would be. Let me look at him. He is here. You're here.
You said he was 50 feet away, right?
Yeah, he was 50 feet. That's what I'm trying to figure.
And so if I go 40 and I have a glaive which has a reach, then that would be within range, right?
You would stop here, and then from there you would need. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. That checks out. Okay. So, glaive attack. Go for it.
Uh, 24 to hit.
24 definitely hits.
That'd be 14 damage.
That hits. Good damage. Still standing.
I would like to use my action surge, or not action surge, my extra attack, sorry.
What do we got?
17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Uh, 13 damage.
Just barely hanging on.
I'm gonna action surge then.
Okay. One more hit, I'll definitely take that. Unless you want to go for it, guys.
That's 15 to hit.
15 will miss.
Oh, god damn it. Can I use my extra attack if I missed?
Yeah, with action surge, you get both your extra attacks.
I use my extra attack to try to hit again. Okay, that worked. That's 18 plus 7 to hit.
Okay. That's definitely knocking him out because you deal minimum 9 damage, and he had 2 hit points. So he gone. So that leaves one last apparition at the top of the hill. Burberry, Barnaby, Rancid, what are we doing?
25 to hit for 16 damage.
All right. Is that guiding bolt?
Yep.
All right. It is still standing, just barely. Barnaby.
Let's finish it off. That's a
Flying
101 to
closer.
hit. And yeah, I'll fly closer. Assuming I can get within no disadvantage. If I can't, that's a 18 to hit.
That's still hitting.
Alright, that is 12 damage.
And with one gunshot, the last of the apparitions is destroyed, and the mountainside falls silent.
Whew.
Fuck those things.
Yeah, fuck those things. Well, Noelle's gonna run over to the corpse of the chimera to see what this necklace thing it had was. Or like, there was like a chain around it, you said?
Yeah, so running over to the 3 times decapitated chimera, its body is wrapped in this length of like glimmering, untarnished silver chain. And looking at it, it looks to be mostly ornamental. However, at sort of the base of the neck on each head, where each head met the body, there was a loop of chain where this sort of silver amulet sort of intercedes in the links, and so it kind of links everything together. And each amulet depicts the same engraving in this like deep black etching of an archway with a trio of skulls perched atop it.
I take it I recognize this.
Is it like a dog collar?
No, it's more like you start kind of pulling at the chains, and it's like almost like 3 or 4 yards of silver chain that is just kind of like draped and wrapped around this creature. And then around the neck, there are segments of this chain that have these amulets with this engraving on it. And I will say also, just because I forgot to mention a second ago, inspecting the chain, you see that it is also like studded with these small insets of diamond, just like all along the length of the chain. But the engraving you would recognize, as it matches the scroll case that you took off of Comac when you killed her.
Okay. There's something going on here. There's a cave up there too, right?
Yes. John and Warren, I think, are the 2 that have been up closest to it, so they would have seen that there is a cavern set in the cliff face at the far end of the terrace.
Well, I'll start heading that way if they don't.
Yeah, I'll go inside to check out the cave.
Okay.
I'm good with going in.
So
I do want to take something from the chimera first.
okay, what do you want to do?
Real quick. I want to break off a horn of it if I can. Horn or
Sure.
well, basically something real thick.
I mean, 3 heads have been chopped off of it. If you want another head to add to your collection that you're carrying with you, there's the lion head, the serpent head, and the rooster head.
I'll just get one of its claws.
Okay, sure. Easy enough. So while Barnaby commences to claiming his trophies off of your slain quarry, you step into the cave, and it's not terribly deep. This cave reaches probably 40 feet back to the rear wall. The ceiling is maybe 15 feet high at its highest point. and the floor is sort of strewn with a mixture of like old decaying plant matter that's sort of been gathered and pulled into a sort of nest, long discarded, dried, desiccated bones, and just kind of loose gravel that's sort of been kicked up over time. The only thing that really jumps out at you in this chamber, against the back wall, sort of carved into the stone, there is a life-sized replication of that archway symbol. It's probably about 8 feet tall. This high, arcing sort of doorway, almost crowned by a trio of skulls. It looks like there's something written inside the archway, but at this distance, it's hard to say.
What is it made of?
It looks like it's just carved into the stone.
Oh, it's just carved in, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll start approaching carefully.
Okay.
I'll fall in the wall.
Does it become legible at a certain point? Or do I at least recognize the language?
As you approach, you can see that there appears to be like 3 lines of text that are sort of set in the center of the archway. And stepping up to it, you can see that the lines are actively shifting and changing. The script's sort of snaking its way across the stone, sort of rearranging markings and letters and reforming new ones over time. But as you stand before it and begin to focus, you see this shifting slow, and the letter forms sort of congeal into a static message. You recognize the script as a very, very old form of Elvish, but you don't understand the words that script is inscribing at a glance. This does not seem to be written in Elvish.
So it's Elvish words, but I don't understand what
it's Elvish saying. Letters, but a different language.
Oh.
Different languages, words.
And where's Barnaby? They're good at language stuff.
Yes.
Can you see these markings around the edge? What do you think?
Ooh, this is very interesting. Should I make some sort of arcana or history or?
Do they see the same thing I do?
Yes. Yeah.
Hold on.
We're trying to see if we can figure out if this is a different language or if this is just old Elvish.
I don't suppose it's street slang.
I mean, yeah, I can.
Someday.
Hold on. I am checking a thing to see if I have it.
I will say this would have been the funniest possible moment to put street slang.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I have a comprehend language, so I can't translate it. But I can Is there anything that I could do here to help this along? Like a history or arcana or some sort of knowledge check?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say history is probably the best one.
I've certainly read enough old dusty-ass books.
Yeah.
Ooh. 23.
Ooh.
Nice.
So, Burberry, as a relatively new convert to Elvish, it probably takes you a minute and Noelle's assistance to sort of like see the more familiar letter forms that you know as modern Elvish in these very archaic forms on the cavern wall. But she starts pointing them out, and you start kind of sounding it out. And
Is this yeah or ye?
yeah.
Oh, it's
And-
thee.
To your surprise, you find yourself recognizing the sort of phonetic flavor of the language that you're deciphering here. You don't speak the language, you're not fluent in it, but you recognize it from your studies as deep speech.
Ooh.
This is a strange language. The sort of written impression of aberrant psychic emanations. This is usually seen in association with entities from beyond the known realms, places of madness.
So what you're saying is that I need to take a rubbing of it to look it up later.
Or I could try and get in contact with Gerald.
I also have a sending stone to Gerald.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can just get for free. If you could, like...
I am still gonna take a rubbing at this though.
Yeah, go for it. I was going to say, though, if you could, like, just read it to him phonetically and see if he can parse what it's saying, maybe, with a sending.
I mean, if it's a sending stone, she might be able to lend it to you so that you can read it, because I don't know how well Lauren reads Elvish.
Well, we just have to tell her what sounds to make.
Well, yes, but you can tell me what sounds to make, and it's not going to sound exactly right, because I'm not...
I hand the standing stone to Noelle.
Okay.
All right.
Trust me on this. I've tried speaking Russian. Just because someone says it to you phonetically does not mean you can say it back.
That's fair. All right, me and Burberry will combine our efforts to try and work out how this might sound phonetically, and I'll squeeze the sending sound. Gerald, it's Noelle. Burberry thinks we found deep speech. Can you translate? And I will, as best as I can, say some as many of the words as I can fit in the latter half of the sending.
Okay. So, looking at the actual translation I have in front of me, it is 26 words.
Okay.
So, to get the full message to him would probably be about 2 sentences with the message you just attached to it. He will listen to that first message and await the finished, complete, message in the second sending before responding. We'll say, okay, I think I got that written down. I'll run it by Gideon. He knows this better than I do. I'll be in touch.
All right.
And the cave is quiet.
I'll toss the sending stone back to Lauren. I guess I'll just, could be. I'll just look around this small cave. I know we didn't see much at a glance, but just investigate to see if there's anything hidden in here.
Sure. I'll say, give me an investigation check.
Can I help Noelle find stuff?
Yep, you can give her advantage.
Okay. That's 2 investigation checks that have been helped. That's 19 total.
Okay. Fortunately, the cave seems to be about as barren as it looked at first glance. Your investigation does not yield much beyond one forgotten item that you pull out from beneath the sort of large nest of straw and old bark that this thing seems to have constructed against one of the walls. Sort of embedded in this nest, there is a tattered, very faded, very torn, heavy blue cloak.
I'll show it to the party. More specifically, Barnaby.
Do I recognize that? Been a hot minute.
You know, there is one entity that you do recall having glimpsed a few times wearing a cloak very similar to this. You encountered them once on Feral and again on Montalban.
A man?
That's not what I was expecting you to say.
Lauren,
Yes.
you hear Gerald's voice in your mind as his sending spell reaches you
Oh, he knows sending?
from his sending stone.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
each side can cast it once.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I thought he had used it. So that
He's been busy.
Noah could finish it.
Way is shut in her timeless name. She of many faces, the breaker of gates, and the keeper of names. Petitioner, speak her name and glimpse beyond.
I will repeat that out to the party.
Oh, shit.
And as you say it out loud, Lauren, you see the inscription in the archway fade away. And in its place, this black, glossy material begins to spider web across the archway, filling it completely, and spreading out across the sort of bounds of the arch, these tiny little tendrils of this glossy black material. And you find yourself looking at a very highly reflective surface inside the archway.
Do we know who her name is? Asking the party.
I thought it was some man, but I'm just confused now.
There might be two things going on. Can you read that again?
Yes. I say it out loud again. Dia.
The way is shut in her timeless name, she of many faces, the breaker of gates, and the keeper of names. Petitioner, speak her name and glimpse beyond.
Her name.
The breaker of gates?
Yep.
I mean, I imagine it's a goddess. Or a very high-ranking fae figure. I want to go read the list of deities real quick. I've written down the ones we've run into so far, but like...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I get you. Name.
I get it written down.
Yeah, I will copy it into chat. Put it in references.
I'm trying to think if we've ever heard any fae feminine names before. It's all
Well, I mean, there's the gatekeeper, but she guards the gate.
Right.
I doubt it was Anticotum. We got her.
Yeah. I doubt it's the gatekeeper. but the gatekeeper has never been. But maybe we should send a message to the gatekeeper. She might know the answer.
We did ask the gatekeeper once about this, right, DM? And she was pretty sparse on info.
I recall you asking about the scroll case.
Yeah, I was like, do you recognize this symbol? I remember something similar to that.
Yeah, and she was able to name this figure as the Breaker of Gates.
Mm-hmm.
She knows that this figure is known to the Fae and is seen walking their forests. But they are not from the Feywild. They are not Fae themselves. They are an outsider. But they have seemingly found a way to very easily walk in and out of their own accord.
Well, I highly doubt it's Domni or Donmi.
None of those epithets are tied to Donmi. No, that is correct.
So this is not a Fey creature. Was what Gatekeeper confirmed?
Yes.
Non-Fey creature we know. We have Blothamog. I doubt that's it.
Is it watching me? Barnaby's just looking at the cloth and thinking.
Are you talking about that creature you've mentioned before, Barnaby?
Oh man, yes.
Yeah, we did talk about that once. Is there any sign of like blood or something on this cloak piece?
I'll say give me a medicine check.
It's a competent roll. Oh, actually, I have a +4 to this. 18.
Okay. I'll say that there are bloodstains on the cloak, but as you sort of look at the cloak and back at the nest, you do know that there does seem to be like a decent amount of dried blood in the nest as well. And it's possible, given the pretty haggard state that you saw the Chimera in, it's as likely to be that Chimera's own blood kind of leaking onto this cloak that it had buried in its nest as it is to be a person's or beings of any kind. The cloak does not seem to bear any signs of wounds or actual combat damage on it either. The wear and tear on it seems to be largely a factor of age.
Right.
It's funny. If I don't think of this as like a specific person and just in general, I would almost say it's something like death or fate.
Like it's a riddle?
I mean, if I was a different person, controlling my mouth and speaking like a normal being, I would say I wouldn't put it past most DMs. But Jacob's pretty bad, good / about giving us hits and then going, "Oh, you don't remember? Oh well."
No. You stand before the mirror, cloak in hands, pondering its riddle, and your reflections in the mirror
I'm terrible at riddles, so I'm
stand back at you.
Is this for what it's worth? Is this that thing we've been looking for since like session 2? By the way, something.
Oh,
pain,
the Tranquil Pain.
Tranquil Pain.
That was a Gatewatch artifact. That was made and used by the Gatewatch before their fall.
Okay. This is also embedded in a wall. That would make sense, but it's just where my brain's at. Well, we could try a different angle here, or at least get some information. We could try and identify that caller. If Berber still has the spells.
Yeah, I can sit down and identify stuff. I kept it in my thing.
Okay. I'll say go ahead and give me an Arcana check, as you do not find a specific spell enchantment on this caller, but you find traces of magic.
I will give you a bardic inspiration for this.
What's your bardic inspiration again?
D8.
26.
26. Okay, so the chains themselves seem to be 90% ornamental. The magic you find on it is in those amulets on the chest. And each of them has sort of the same traces of magic. This mix of conjuration and illusion and evocation, which sort of matches up with your experience fighting those sort of summoned apparitions. It seems as though they may have been stored in this, as best as you can tell. But with a 26, I would say underneath those traces, there is sort of this ambient, low-grade hum of strange magic about this chain, in a flavor that you are not altogether familiar with. Very uncommon, very rare. But thinking on it, it seems to be sort of ambient time magic. Chronergy, you might call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, you would say that.
You know me so well.
I'm still trying to think of this as a riddle, so my brain's going, key? Nah. History? Nah. Like...
Is there a name tag on the Chimera's collar?
Buddy. Or Joe.
Yes.
A big dog tag dangling from the front says property of, and then the name is all scratched out.
Damn it. It's like it's like that Lord of the Rings door. Speak friend and enter something.
Okay, just can I ask an out of character question?
No.
No, okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Should I be treating this as a riddle and wallowing over this?
Work at 6 in the morning.
6?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need it.
Okay. Do what, Kat?
Should I be treating this as a riddle? Should I wallow over this?
I mean, I don't want to give nothing away. You know, I'd like you to think on it. I'd like the party to think on it.
No, I mean, like, I'm happy to think on it if it is a riddle, because I love riddles.
Sure.
But if it's not a riddle, I don't want to waste 20 minutes going, but what could it be?
I'll say this. We're hitting 11 o'clock here, so midnight y'all time. China needs to head out. for work in the morning. So I
Yes,
say
sir.
we leave the session here as the party ponders the mysteries of this magic mirror. And we will reconvene, I believe, in a week. Or no, 2 weeks, because we can't meet next week. I think someone's off, right?
That's us, right?
Are we off on the 10th? Or the 7th? Excuse me.
Yeah, 7th is the hockey game.
Okay, yeah. So we will not reconvene on the 7th, but the 14th of November
Okay.
will be our next session.
Sounds good.
So you're saying I have a week to think on this possible
You
riddle.
have 2 weeks to think on this. Mm.
All right, I'm gonna ask an out of character as well. The way you wrote down the inscription, some letters are capital and some aren't. Is that anything? No. I can't make a name out of this.
I mean, it's capitalized when it's referring to this entity,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Her and her titles.
That would be pretty dickish to put the clue in the capitalization we don't have access to.
That's what I got. Oh no. Yeah, that's true.
So we'll leave it here for the night, and let's get an MVP vote figured out.
I mean, I kind of feel inclined to vote for Barnaby because this is his.
I was gonna vote for Burberry for saving my butt.
That's fair. That's a fair vote.
You remind me of every time I play Overwatch and I follow like a wrecking ball in there and like I'm like, yeah, I'm fixing you, and then he just yeets.
Look, I didn't want to be near that thing.
Take me with you next time. Force the movement.
Well, I hear one for Barnaby, one for Burberry. Anybody else?
Not for John. All he did was get paralyzed.
Poor John.
I want it for Lauren. For the vultures and kicking ass.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage really early.
It's between Lauren and Noelle for rescuing me from it.
Oh yeah, the dino attack.
Go with Alluring for taking it.
That sounds like 2 or 3 votes for Lauren.
I was gonna say Noel for being my little dinosaur buddy.
So Burberry, Barnaby, Noelle, Lauren. So Burberry, Barnaby, Noelle, Lauren. Yeah, that's 5 votes, right? So Lauren, by 1 vote, you get the MVP point. And the rest of the party, everyone gets a single RP point as well for participation. I will say now, you at the end of your next long rest will be level 9.
Woo.
Oh my.
So level up. So if you want to get that done ahead of time, as far as all of your features, get that prepared and picked out. We can roll hit points at the beginning of next session, and then all of that will be online at the end of your next long rest.
Okay.
Sound good?
I didn't miss that right. We're leveling up.
Yep.
I get 4th level spells.
You should have 5th level by now.
I have to
Fifth level, sorry, no, I'm saying like I get 3 4th level spells. That's exciting to me because I've only had 1.
I have to figure out what I'm doing.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
You got 2 weeks to figure it out.
Yep.
I have an out of character
for
question.
you, DM.
Oh, you go first.
This is a real quick one for the gunslinger gunrat trait.
Yeah.
It says starting at 7th level, I can make revolvers or a hunting rifle. Do I have to be fighter 7 or just total 7?
Fighter 7.
That's what I figured. Just check. Thank you.
My question was, what is that spell you really wanted me to fail that wisdom save for?
Oh god, there was a bunch of them. So one of them, I mean, there's a lot of whole person getting thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was dominate monster for sure.
That's hilarious.
And then I tried it on Barnaby and you, I tried to get temporal shunt to work, and you both passed it both times.
Oh.
What would have happened if I got grabbed by tentacles?
You would have been restrained
Oh, okay, that's not too
and taken 3d8 damage every turn.
Suddenly, I'm really glad I put all the stuff into that.
Yeah, you guys being hidden and splitting up like that really saved your bacon. Because if y'all had been bunched up, my first turn plan was slow, and then Everett's Black Tentacles, and then Hunger of Hadar.
Oh, Jesus.
It was going to be so good, but no, y'all were hidden and split up, and I was like, well, some of these work.
We learned not to line up after last session.
Yeah.